It's Tuesday. It's June. It's the 18th. This is the giant Bombcast, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautifully hot and disgusting day, if I might say so myself.
It's hot, man.
It's hot.
It's 80 degrees and raining.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It's like 90 clear skies, and I'm sweating my ass off. Damn.
You're one state over. What the hell? You got this rain coming here.
It's gross. It's gross. But this is the Giant Bombcast, and we're coming to you hot off the heels of a smoking hot Nintendo Direct.
Oh yeah,
and we will talk about that for sure. It was a good one.
It's basically the Direct to end all directs.
Direct of dreams.
It made everyone's noses bleed while we were watching it. Basically,
I got
Hiroshi style. Still never had one. Never had one.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh well, Dan's never been horny in his life. We all know that.
So he can't have a nosebleed. Yeah,
I have been plenty horny. Thank you.
I found out
that for us, Sean. All right.
I found out that was an anime thing about like horny anime people getting so horny that their noses bleed.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know. What is anime about?
They got a lot of like nose
yours
stuff.
Doesn't?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Like the Super Eye Patch Wolf was saying he had a situation, and I was like, what? And then Tam was like saying he. Anyway, go listen to that if you want, you little freaks.
That might change for him. I'm having sinus surgery in 2 days, and I've been told it's going to be like 2 straight weeks of just bloody nose stuff. So maybe that's going to unlock the ability to my nose to bleed.
To be horny?
Go awaken.
And to be horny, yeah.
No,
that's part of the sinus surgeries. You're going to be really horny all the time.
Yeah, you're going to get sinus surgery.
Yeah.
Now you will be attracted to video game foxes. Like, yeah.
That's right. Yes. Suddenly love Star Fox Adventures.
Crystal is like your main thing now. Yeah.
Fixing his sinuses will make him horny again. We need to do this.
Technology.
It's a vital and crucial surgery.
Yeah, just you using that voice and talking about like rebuilding someone's making me was reminding me of the Daikatana $6 Million Man jumping sound. And now I'm just
God.
There you go.
Oh,
we're gonna rebuild his face and his horniness. Yeah, so we've assembled quite the group here today. Jan is out on official business. Thank you, Jan. My name is Jeff Bagler. I am joined by Jeffrey Michael Grubb. What's up?
Hey, howdy. Yeah, that's the full name. It really I don't mind it, except for it does sound like I am in trouble when people say Jeffrey Michael Grubb. It's got that power.
It's good. Like the last name being one syllable is powerful in a fun way.
Yeah, it's like a Slavic sounding name too, so it's like a harsh sound, which I think makes it more musical a little bit. It's no Mike Minotti, all right? It is no Mike Minotti.
Come on.
No,
who among us is Michael Higgins Minotti? What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good. Yeah, nobody ever does the full name thing. My middle name's Samuel, so like Mike Minotti, Michael Minotti, very good flows.
Michelangelo Samuel Minotti.
Nah, that doesn't really work.
Mikey Sam is
Mikey
all right.
Sam's
I like
pretty
Sam.
Mikey Sam's not bad.
Sounds like I'm trying to sell you a sandwich or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
Mikey Sam's. We got Daniel Scramasax Reichard. What's up,
That's
pal?
correct. That's me. I'm looking for the all-adult Nintendo 64 download on the eShop. Somebody in the chat says it's available. It's a new app you have to download to get your Turoks. Get your Turoks off. Yeah.
Very neat. Very cool.
What is happening? All adult. Did you just say get your Turoks off?
That's a good one.
Yeah, there it is. It's there. Wait,
doesn't say
mature 17 plus for the eShop.
Did we not
thing.
have that app yet?
It doesn't say that.
No, there it is. Free download. You have to download the Get Your Turoks Off app. That's right. That's got perfect dark.
Because they at least had that over in Japan. Oh, it's because GoldenEye was rated M over there. That's what it was.
Okay,
and also,
I'm downloading the mature Nintendo 64 app now.
Because of Black.
I find it very upsetting that it's a different app on it.
It has a bar on the bottom. It's like a Red Band trailer. It just says mature 17 plus with an N64 controller, which is
that's funny.
Yeah, it has to be a different app. It has to be a different app for
Hey, if someone wants to go to like a
Family
bootleg website that like will just print any shirt you want and send me the link, I will buy that shirt today.
The JPEG of the
controller.
Yeah, of the controller saying mature 17 plus.
That is really crazy looking on my home screen.
It'd be funny if like parts of the controller were mosaiced out and they were just sort of like
just the middle prong. Just the middle prong.
C buttons. Yeah,
that's really good.
Also on the program, Turbo Sean, how are you, sir?
You know, I just always find it amazing that Michael Minotti can never remember Jeffrey Michael Grubb's middle name.
Or Mike Hardy's first name.
Okay, well, we have to kick
Matt Mahardy.
down.
That's
Respect.
I mean, that's dumb on a level I can't quite put my finger on it. That's almost
Yeah, you sound like you don't know how to make tea.
Yeah, that's almost teabag and water level of dumbness.
Speaking of dumb things tied to Summer Games Fest, I found out last night Bonk took a shower, and when she got out, she used a towel that was in the laundry with the Elmo suit. And it had gone through the dryer because we had the Elmo suit, one worn by young Elmo, Jesse Vitelli. I brought it back. It was used, so I washed it. And she used the towel that was in there apparently, and I guess it had just Elmo particles all over it. So she had just taken a shower. She used the towel, looks in the mirror, and she's just covered in like Elmo dust, like just red stuff all over her.
She looks like she had chicken pox, probably.
Yes. Yeah, that's an interesting choice, throwing in that costume with like other things you care about. But whatever.
How are you supposed to wash an Elmo suit?
By itself, I guess.
Yeah, you got to take that to Sesame Street. They got dry cleaners there that can handle that.
Come on.
That got me. That was good.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So I did the doc that Jan always does of like help us name the podcast because we just say stuff, and I don't know about you guys, but I forget what I say on this podcast almost immediately. So
100%.
The doc like helps us like keep track. Oh, here's a funny thing we said. I'm like, I'm gonna go check, and literally, as you were saying it, Elmo particles was populating the thing. Like that's a very good phrase. So.
I may still like get your Turok off.
Yeah,
I don't know. We already have great options today.
Yeah,
the show is young. Give it time. Give it time.
We peaked.
All right, so we got some housekeeping. We got things to talk about before we get into the games we're playing. What was I gonna? I want
to talk about the forum, right?
Oh my God! Right? Yes. Okay. So, people who purchase tickets to Giant Bomb at Night Live, the form that you need to fill out is going to be posted. I guess I could do it right now in the Discord, and then we'll tweet it out later today. So, go to do yourself a favor, fill that out, and you can claim the 1 year or lifetime subscription. Just fill that form out. Submit it, and we'll get it processed for you right away. So keep your eyes peeled for that. All right, yeah, I guess that is all the housekeeping. We've got like cool. We've got some really sick merch coming down the road, you guys.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's happening real soon. Things we've never sold before. So that's really cool.
My hair
and well,
Elmo dust.
That
was
a jar of Elmo dust. Yeah.
Mug that says "Get your Turok off." Actually,
Elmo.
oh. I think I could just go do that. I think I have the access.
Right. Who owns Turok now? Is it still Disney? They don't care.
I think it's the kid that got named Turok to win that contest.
Right.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
So I have a question. Obviously I wasn't at SGF, and that happened to me.
I can't believe you didn't want to come.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go either.
Nobody got COVID there, so except for almost everyone except for us, apparently. So
I felt great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good that you guys feel great. So like, I don't know. I feel like I saw like a lot of it. I basically experienced SGF from the comfort of my bed, and I watched as late as I could before I just fell asleep every night, and I kind of made it through like half of the live show and stuff like that. But I feel like we haven't really talked about it publicly. Like, so how'd it go?
It was fun.
It was good.
I had a good time. Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was good. It was dense. It was a pretty densely packed trip, doing the play days, the talkovers, and then all the at night stuff, which, by the way, Jeff and everyone else there on the Giant Bomb team, Dan and Jan and everyone, Emma, just really killing it.
Thanks, Mike.
All of that live stuff and the production things. Everybody was having a great time hanging out kind of in that the gathering area.
The gathering of the Juggalos, right?
The gathering of the Juggalos and the young Elmolos. It was fantastic stuff. So
leaf blowers.
The leaf blowers.
Multiple leaf blowers.
Yes. Yeah. What would you do without that, man? Good thing that was there.
I just was looking for stuff to cause trouble with, and I was like, this will do.
So what was it? It was just loose. Hanging out.
So I went into. You go ahead, Grub.
Yeah. So we before the show, like Dan's like, what can I do to help? Like, let's just think about some stuff. Like, we got to keep things, fresh. I'm like, yeah, let's like kind of look around. And I think we're like, what's going to be announced at SGF? And I'm like, oh, this will probably happen. This will probably happen in like Lego Horizon Adventures. And I think, Mike, you said we should all act like go bananas when it gets announced. let us really lose our shit. And then the plan at that moment was do it for the rest of the year. Pretend like it's our most hyped game. That didn't last very long. But
Mike.
but we're like, okay, all right. So what can we do to like really pop? Like, can we find confetti or something? I think it's what
I want
we
to like
started saying.
breakaway chairs that we can break, like just shit to destroy.
Just
like I was
right.
picturing like the like tables that like Chris Farley would fall through, that type of stuff.
Sure,
You know, like
sure,
breaking,
like breakaway stuff. Yeah.
Right. So we were looking around and like we're in this studio space and we like just walk into a room that we're probably not supposed to be in. And and then I think you saw the leaf blower, Dan, and I think the light bulb just went off, right?
I was like, yes, I know exactly what to do with this. I looked at your head and I was like, yes, that will do. Yeah.
That's a good target.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe one of my favorite things from the entire weekend was when you brought in the leaf blower for the Nasty Boys, and they just took turns just getting absolutely demolished by that thing.
I went in beforehand. I was like, does anyone want to opt out? This is like right before the segment went live. And I was like, hey, does anybody want to opt out of getting a leaf blower blown in your face at point blank range? And a couple were like, yeah, I'd rather that not happen. I mean, it was like right before we went live. And I was like, hey, I got an idea. And they were
a couple of people who take very meticulous care of their appearance were like, maybe I won't do that tonight. But
sure, yeah. But no, we got some good footage out of that.
Was
for sure.
that the time where you guys did the video of you coming in? You did the long shot, the WWE style long shot.
Yep. The new Usos entrance thing. Yeah,
it's up on Twitter. It's very good.
Dan killed it.
And anyway, Dan was just like, yes, we'll do this. And it's like the idea was like when the game would get announced, I would stand up, Dan would blast me in the face with this thing, and then behind the camera, Nikki was just throwing napkins into it, which just made a huge mess. But it was a lot of fun.
Apologies to the GameSpot crew next door.
Doing some like analysis, like smart analysis of things, and like it fell over at one point onto my foot and turned on, and I had to like pick it up and scramble figure out to turn it off.
And it was like, wait, Kurt, who's talking, who's maybe the most like introspective, smart, like reflective person in the world, and then
meanwhile,
Kurt going, there's a leaf blower.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys like, that's cool. Yeah, all the post-mortem meetings have had, you'd be surprised how often that's come up.
I'm glad they liked it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how the sentences went. They're like, we really liked the leaf blower.
There's a leaf blower problem.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a new studio for next year, I think.
Sure,
I'll find something there.
We got full approval. That was a process too. It's like we were like, we're not just gonna do this. We're gonna ask. So we asked like our producer Wendy, and then she asked the studio person, and that studio person asked the lead of the entire studio, and they're
professionals.
Like,
yes, they're in for it. Yeah,
and they said yes.
Sure, no, it sounds very legal and cool. I just think we're gonna want to do like maybe a place with studios. I don't know, on like opposite ends of a football field,
Sure.
perhaps.
I get that.
Yeah,
I guess I
that's
can't
fair.
handle real journalism, so that's fine.
Exactly. We're too real for them.
The direction we might want to go with that.
They were probably too
next
busy
year.
talking about how Horizon's lame and bad anyways. We're all so over that.
Why are they so jaded? Come on.
Come on.
We're big Horizon guys now, right, folks?
That's right.
Yeah, totally. The big 180. No one ever saw coming.
Backlord, the thing about SGF is it is fun. I go there and I have a good time.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to
complain.
make you feel too bad, but you should
hear about Disneyland if you're gonna want to hear about.
You should come sometime. The show itself is you just walk 5 feet, you're going to see a million people, and it's laid back, so you can actually have those conversations. There's even places to like sit and grab coffee and things like that. We didn't do much of that. We had a pretty jam-packed day, but I saw a lot of our friends doing exactly that. And then I felt like, okay, that's fine. I know we're going to go to the studio tonight, and a lot of these people are going to come over there and hang out with us. And they did, and it's the best. I really like doing that still because it's a place for people to just come out and unwind and be a part of like the sphere of gaming, I think, in that area, and I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to publicly congratulate the whole group, home and domestic. I'm sorry, away and domestic, who did not get out there. Obviously, Sean doing a lot of the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Great job, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there. I've never been to SGF.
Yeah.
What?
Don't worry. Well,
hey,
I never
It's
been.
3 years. 3 years of SGF. Yeah.
I've never been, and I'm the coolest.
Do you want to get like shingles before the Game Awards this year or anything?
I don't know what. Well, I've actually made the Game Awards 2 years in a row, which I don't know. I guess it's the lesser of two evils. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if we can make this for the first time happen next year. Hopefully, we can.
And we'll do it again. You know, I really I think everything we did. You know, I don't know if we'll do a live show again, but we'll at least for that. Maybe we'll try some other stuff with that. But for the GB at night, it will return. It'll be a good time. Looking forward to it.
Excellent.
And then we went to Disney.
Yeah. So listen. So like, okay, I just need to hear about it because I didn't hear anything about it. I don't know anything about it. It was one of the best
days of my life. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
It was so fun.
I use this phrase. It felt like a magical day with friends.
It felt like a magical day with friends.
I've been to Disney a lot of times, a lot of days. That was one of my best days in a Disney park. It was good.
He did a really good job of like making sure we got on a ton of stuff, but it was never stressful. We were never rushing. It was
not a lot of
perfectly
lines.
Paced.
I was there from 8
the Genie app.
Yeah, we did all that. I bought some lightning lanes for the group and whatnot. But yeah, you know, like those apps are a little annoying because they're confusing. But when you know how to use them, they are pretty helpful.
I would have known. I still have it on my phone.
I mean, it was a long day. Went from like 8 a.m. You know, Dan had to leave after dinner to catch a plane.
And I was bummed. I was like at the airport. I was like, man, they're still. I would see pictures of you guys seeing the fireworks and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I wish I was at Disneyland.
Well, the fireworks was especially magical. Yeah.
We'll go to Disneyland again. And I want to say,
will we? I mean,
Dan, the entire time, super game for everything. Not a cynical bone in his body. Was always very interested in asking questions and having a good time.
That feels right for Dan, though.
Dan's super gamer.
I mean, what's the point of showing up to something, even if it's not normally in your wheelhouse, and being like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to not like this. Like, I went in, I was like, hey, this is our day. I'm with great guides for this circumstance. I had several Disney experts in the group, and I'll be damned if that wasn't a great way to experience that.
Well, plus, we had Jenny Nicholson hanging out with us, who did that amazing recent video about the Star Wars hotel that closed in Disney World, a bunch of other great theme park video essays. So, you know, I was getting to nerd out with her about a lot of stuff.
That was fun to watch you guys like go back and forth a lot on that stuff.
I've seen you two before. I had to keep my distance for sure. It was awesome. Hey, so what'd you hit? What did you go on? Give me the list.
Very first thing we did, which was very important, was we got a corn dog at the Little Red Wagon.
It was great.
Good corn dog. I have high standards for corn dogs.
What was the weather like? Was it like too hot?
Perfect.
It was like perfect.
Yeah, like sunny at like 3 to like 5 p.m. It was a little sunny, and then it was like overcast and nice again.
I bought an Indiana Jones hat, and I pulled it off. Everyone said to my face, anyhow.
Yeah, no, your vibe was great. Somebody else said you looked like Chip and Dale from Rescue Rangers combined into one person.
I know. I wish someone had said that. I'm like, yes, I do look like a Chip and Dale's dancer. You're right. That would have been my joke, and that would have been a dad joke, so it would have been perfect for the energy I was giving off.
Was it Chip or Dale that didn't want to too sweet us?
I still don't know for sure.
Okay, that was Dale. Okay,
all right, but he would
pretty sure that was
not
Dale.
into it.
Dale?
Me and Rob on either side, like too sweet us. Dale just like no.
He literally did this. Like tried to protect himself by putting his hands across his chest, and then we're walking away. We're like, it's not a Nazi thing; it's just wrestling. And then apparently somebody explained it to him, and they gave Nikki
very
too
specifically trained to not do any hands.
We could tell. Yes.
All right. So what'd you hit? Real rapid fire.
Indiana Jones Adventures. I was so excited to get Dan and Jeff on that. That's probably my favorite ride.
It's great.
A roller coaster?
No, it's you're in like a Jeep and it's kind of shaking and you're going through a temple and it's just a lot of really cool practical effects happening and
big heads shooting fire and stuff. Very Indiana Jones.
I drove.
Feeling.
It was great. I played Marvel Snap. It was great.
I got Dan kayfabing. I was like, no, don't look at the Eye of Mara, Dan. He's like, I'm gonna look at it. I was like, oh, you're gonna do my saw.
I stared straight at it, unblinking, and then thinks, what the hell?
It's all his fault. We did some classics like Pirates of the Caribbean. I got us on the Mark Twain riverboat. The Mark Twain riverboat.
That's where we saw just a dead bird in the river.
We did see a dead bird in the water. That was a good open, I believe.
Yeah.
What else?
Like, yeah, oh gosh, we did a lot. We did get to do Rise of the Resistance, which is the amazing Star Wars ride, and we went to Uga's.
Is that a carbon copy of Florida?
Yes, exactly the same, and it's still just as good.
Cool.
Oga's Bar was so much fun.
We had such a good time there.
We had a good time. Just the drinks were great, and yeah, we had to like stand up at a table, and it was kind of awkward. And then Jan had the like big brain idea of like just pull it a little away from the wall, and then we had plenty of room, and it was just awesome.
That fuzzy drink thing is so good. The fuzzy tauntaun.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes your mouth tingle. That's it's super tasty too. It's great.
I love that drink. I just have such a good time in that bar. And then we were with Bailey as well, who was also in a fantastic guide. And then apparently a few days later, she sent us a text, guess where I'm at? And she was back at that bar again. So doing more Disneyland.
Grub, did you get the custom droid thing?
I did get, I got the, there was a spare parts droid popcorn bucket.
Yes,
I got
not quite.
So I got that, and that was like $25, and I don't know why I'm doing the popcorn bucket thing, but I did.
When I was at Galaxy's Edge, like almost a year ago now, I wanted to make my own droid and like have the box, right? You know what that is, right, Mike?
Yeah, but did you make an appointment to do that?
No, there was time. I could do it. No, I had it on my phone. It was like I could schedule this.
Okay.
And Stacey's just yelling at me. She's like, "No, you're not fucking doing that."
What?
Yeah.
I did that. I did that the first time I was there. I got a droid
Eckler, you
over
should
there.
have came with us. We would have given you permission on our perfect day.
Could you twist the knife any deeper?
What else? We did Space Mountain was a super fun time. Yeah.
Is that a similar one, or what's the deal with that one?
It's actually better in Disneyland.
That's the closest thing to like a ride the way I'm used to. You know, that's like a roller coaster-ish thing.
That's right.
You know?
You left right before we did the Incredicoaster. You would have really liked that, Dan.
Is that one? Does that do a loop?
Yes. That's just a loopy loop.
Okay. I like loop.
That was the one thing I did not do with the group. That was the one time I was walking Dan toward where he needed to go to catch his Uber. I was like, I'm not doing the loop coaster.
Oh,
but
man.
You'll have fun.
All right. The FOMO is overwhelming at the moment. I need to.
Yeah, tell me about it, man.
Yeah. Hey guys, trust me. Anytime anybody wants to go to Disney with me, just let me know. I'll be good. But
we had a great meal.
Fly out? Like, what do you, like?
You pay
you
for
can
my
fly
ticket,
me
bud?
I mean,
Well,
you know, my
we didn't pay
services
for our
come with a
tickets.
price. You heard how good of a guy I was. We went to the other park to do some rides. That the Cars land there. I don't care what you think about that movie. I get it. The Cars land is incredible.
It was
That ride's awesome.
That racing ride is great. And because we had such a big group, we were split between two of the cars that actually raced each other. So we're just like doing suckets and stuff while this race is happening. It was so much
I have
fun.
the video. I'm like filming because I could get everybody in there. And then at the end of the video, it just overwhelms me. I see you guys doing the suckets, and I just yell "suck it" really loud. And I like vaguely look for them, like, okay, there's no kids in this car with us. These people probably didn't appreciate it, but I'm sorry. I had to yell it.
What they did miss was we went back to Cars Land later because, in that movie, there's a whole thing with the neon lights. They turned the neon lights on at night, and it looks really cool. So we were there like when it was dusk and like it was about to become sunset, and like the cast members started this kind of ceremony, this ritual.
A ritual.
Where we all started like doing a circle walk and dance, and so
And they, like, bubbles
we're
and stuff.
summoning the neon. That was a good time.
I did put that up on TikTok if people want to see what that looks like. That was a lot of fun.
That was. We had a great dinner meal at the Carthay Circle Theater, which is kind of like the nicer-ish restaurant there. A lot of fun cocktails. A lot of us just kind of like shared a bunch of appetizers. I actually just had this soup that was.
I had that too.
Yeah, that really rich chicken broth with cheese tortellini, like a Parmesan crisp, and this basil kind of like oil reduction on top of it. Ooh, it was good.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, tough to follow that.
And then we had VIP fireworks seating in front of the partner statue. I almost lost it a little bit. Like, I just get to sit down for the fireworks, like right in the plaza.
We're like walking in, and I'm like, this is normal. And Mike and Ginny are like, this is not normal. Like, you have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get these seats. Like, this is like something like,
how'd that happen?
Guess who I messaged?
I didn't realize that was a thing they could do. That's awesome.
Yeah. I will not say anything about Quackshot for a little bit. For a moment. Gosh,
I gave him a gift. I gave him a gift as a thank you. He has a copy of Chinese Democracy now.
Yeah, there it is.
Right. That was really thoughtful. That was thoughtful.
It was very
Thank
funny
you.
on Twitter afterwards where he was like, did Ginny use one of those tickets I gave you? Because it's like, oh yeah, totally. She
Oh
used
no,
it.
was that my ticket?
Yes, it was.
My ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
But man, it was very. It's funny because I'm on steroids right now because when I for something I had, I feel great right now. But even I will get tired in the parks for a bit, and like around 10 p.m., even earlier, some people are dragging, and I'm still just like, let's go to the next thing, everybody. Skipping along.
And I was like, is this just the spirit of Disney? In fact, is this what he's like? And I'm like, sure, a little bit, but it was also the steroids.
I think the steroids were helping.
Drugs.
It does
that's
help a
why.
lot. I understand it a lot more now because I think I had the misconception that Disneyland and like Disneyland freaks were that way because they like, oh, I love Mickey Mouse and I love these movies and so much that I get to like live in the movies. And then I was at dinner and I asked because it's like I was asking specifically like Mike, Bailey, Jenny, Nikki, they're all like big Disneyland fans. I was like, okay, do you think most fans are like fans of the movies first and that's why they like the parks, or they're obsessed with like they love the park experience and that's why they have an attachment to the brand Disney? And all of them unanimously said it was the parks first. So like I had not considered that like it was the love of the parks that was the biggest factor towards being a big Disney person.
They were saying,
I assumed it was the other way around.
They were saying it's like it is the fact that it is this place that is planned out and is fake and it's really like well thought out of faux renders of reality and the hyper reality. And it's like I totally see the appeal of that. The fact that there are Imagineers behind every decision in a place makes it feel like this Easter egg hunt constantly, but in a really good way. Although I will note that we did ask Dan, like, for what defines a Disney adult, being more into the movies or being more into the parks? And all of them who are into the parks are like, it's being into the movies. And then I put it on Twitter, and everyone else says it's being into the parks.
Yeah, I said parks. That's what I.
Oh, you did? Okay.
With.
I'm sorry. I thought you said
Yeah.
movies. Okay.
No, I thought
okay
everyone
if you're
said
a liar.
parks.
I thought everyone said
parks.
I think some people said movies
I
at
think
least.
they said movies. Yeah.
At our table?
Yeah. No.
I thought everyone said parks.
No, for the
Mike
question,
is
like,
definitely on record as saying parks.
No,
I remember that.
no, that's not. I'm sorry. This is a different thing, Dan. Like when you asked, like, what are you into? They all said parks. But when we asked what defines a Disney adult.
Well, I think what some people took it as is like when you think of kind of the weird Disney adults thing, maybe sometimes a lot of that is more, the people going on Instagram with their Belle themed dress and doing something weird. I don't know. Who knows? It's all one strange pot.
Yeah,
is that the Disney edging thing where it's like you try to get in?
Bounding. That's bounding,
yes.
not edging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We tried to get in the park with the cosplay. Yeah.
Right. That's all.
Yeah, we got Dole Whip too.
It's good. It was good. I will say the Costco Dole Whip, I think gets you about 75% of the way there, but it was better and softer and stuff.
You had a swirl, right? Didn't you get it with the strawberry?
Yeah, I got strawberry and pineapple. It was good as hell.
I got my hat. I got my my Dole Whip right afterwards, and I was just like refreshed and thriving in my lane, moisturized, just having a great day at that moment.
Yeah, I guess I'm sorry I asked.
No, Backler, I feel the same way. I mean, I had to leave like 2 hours early, so
Oh, sorry, Dan.
No,
Dan, I'm so sorry.
It was more like 6 or 7 hours. We were there for a long.
I mean, I would have had to leave too, right? I would have been there with you.
Oh, probably, yeah.
You know what? I feel better because you know what you're missing. I've never been. This is all going in my head.
We'll have to get you out there.
I am glad because like Jeff was gonna have to leave earlier than Dan even, and I like told Jeff like you need to change your flight. You have to leave the next day. You're gonna stay in my room. You're gonna be there all night. It's gonna be terrific.
It worked out fantastic. It was perfect.
Again, like I just got one of those. The Disneyland hotel there. It's very expensive. You can get a motel that is pretty much just as close to the park for like a ninth of the price.
Yep, we walked
I do that every time.
Yep,
it's it's great. We just walk to and from the park. That walk at the end of the day could be a little rough. I felt bad when we were at like the one place where we could get an Uber. He's like, we're gonna get an Uber now, right? And I'm like, no, we're not. I'm walking.
Wow, hearing about this kind of energy out of you is like
it was scary. It was scary. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to pivot.
Oh, should we take a quick break before we get to games? Actually,
yeah, we might as well at this point.
All right.
We'll take a quick break. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. All the games we're talking about and playing after this.
All right, we're back. Let's do it. Let's get right back into it.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
I like
All right,
Arnold
awesome.
in chat quoting me. "You're gonna stay in my room. You're gonna be there all night," said Mike firmly.
It was, yeah, he definitely didn't give me a choice.
That's not surprising.
Yes.
All right. Do we have a video game sound? We do.
Listen to that.
Oh, you're loco, man.
We also did watch MacGruber during SGF, which
did.
was
Yes,
a
we did.
great kickoff. We did that Thursday night. Was that the first night we were there?
Us with
Yes.
Mary and Mary's Emmy in our robot hotel.
Right,
Yes.
Jesus, I forgot about
Robot
that.
Hotel, man, a dense trip.
Yeah, I got to
Yes.
hold an Emmy most of one night. Bacalar, it was great.
That's cool.
Do you have an Emmy?
I didn't. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah, it was pretty
My-
much nonstop fun and friends.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool. Like, I don't. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Everything's awesome. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool. Video games are among us. Who's been playing Sniper Elite 5?
Dan and I played some of that, and
We blew up Hitler's balls.
we
Ball.
we destroyed his balls,
Yeah.
singular. I'm surprised at that game. I did not understand fully what it was, that it was a 3D action game, kind of similar to Hitman. Obviously, the emphasis on the sniper shooting. But you can kind of go in there and kind of kill people however you want. There's a lot of traps you could set up, like put a grenade on a dead body and then attract his friends to it with a
Whoa.
beer bottle and like have them blow up. And honestly, every time it went to slow-mo and we saw someone's guts and intestine or testicles just get
Skull.
demolished, their skull,
Yeah.
it worked. I popped every time. I'm sure playing single player, I would be like, okay, maybe this is a bit much. Maybe I will turn it down. But for the
No.
amount we played, I probably wouldn't. But like for the stream we played, every time I was like, yes, this is the best. I'm just like, I might play that game for shoot. I might put it on the Steam Deck and actually play through it. Especially hearing
They're
after
good.
Matt Mahardy, right? He gave it a good review, right? So I'll.
Oh, did he review it?
Someone said that he really likes it. Yes.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
I mean, they're
comments
like
that.
genuinely good games. I played several of them now, and like, no, I don't get tired of the slow mo thing. Like every single time I play one of those games, I crank all of it up to like excessive,
Yes,
and I
that's
want
where we're
every
at.
single shot to see rip through, the organs and
It
stuff.
just
Crank
feels good.
it
They do a
up to
good job with
excess.
it. It's I don't know. So I had a really good time, and it was like great. That was like the first DLC mission was, we know why you're here. We know why you're playing this. Here's
Yeah.
Hitler's chateau. Go and kill the fucker. And it was just thank you so much. We didn't have to like unlock it or anything. It was just right there.
I'm surprised they kind of don't get a little cheekier with it, where it's like, oh, it's Hitler on vacation was the theme of this one.
Right.
And I thought it was going to be like him, like in a lawn chair with like a Mai Tai or something. We're just like shooting his nut through like swimming
Right.
trunks or something. But like, no, he's just like in a cellar at his like
Like, at
wine
some point,
estate or
he
whatever.
goes up to like a window's like, I gotta stand on this stool to reach the cookie jar up here. It's like, it's like shake it.
Yes.
I think the ideal form of the DLC, because that was the first mission. I don't know what the other ones are. It should be just killing Hitler in different settings is what it should
If
be.
they
And it
made a
should get
whole game of killing Hitler and
Yeah.
destroying his balls, that would be incredible.
right. That is like the big brain idea of like how you actually nail that DLC. So I don't think that's what it is, but it should be. I would love that. But yeah, just surprised at what that game is, and kind of feeling bad I didn't give it a chance beforehand. It's definitely in that bucket of like, that's one of those cheap games. It's not a real game, and I don't know why I
Sure.
thought that.
No, it's real. And honestly, it works really well for co-op because like,
Yes.
the Hitman games, I fucking love those, but they don't have like, I can't think of a lot of games where I've done that stealth co-op experience. I mean, there was that like cool Splinter Cell one ages ago where you could do the co-op stuff, but like the idea of like, Grub and I, like, okay, you take this high ground. Okay. You got the guy on the left. Okay. I got the captain down there, and us timing our shots together and stuff. Like it really works well for co-op.
Yep, I had a lot of fun doing that.
It was a very fun thing to watch too. Me and Mike were hanging out with you guys on a stream and just watching you guys either coordinate amazingly well and just, expertly take the shot, or just completely blow things constantly. It was just so much fun to watch you guys just go through that adventure. I can't tell you how many times I watched you guys blow up Hitler's ball. Like that is just, it was the funniest thing that's happened in
such
a
a good
long
shot.
time around here.
The final one was
Yes.
incredible. Just
Yes.
straight on, just right through the goalposts. Like
The way Dan
fantastic.
popped off at Hitler's ball, just blowing the hell up, was so good.
it's much like-
objectively the funniest thing in a video
It's
game.
like
right?
a grenade, shrapnel everywhere is what it looks like. It's great.
And it's great. Like we were trying to get him to turn around, so I just like basically ran in and tapped him on the shoulder and ran out. And that
Excuse
worked the
me,
best.
Hitler? Oh,
Yeah, this is little
be Hitler.
Looney Tune stuff going on. Or just like, hey, can you hold this for me?
Well, that's exactly
great.
what, like, they got that side right. It's madcap. It is like there is the potential for everything to go sideways and become very silly, and that's what I want from a game like this, in co-op or playing alone. Either way, and it nailed that stuff. So, yeah, impressed. And like I said, I downloaded it on my Steam Deck, and once I get done with 1,000 Year Door, I might start putting some more time into that.
Nice.
Cool. Who's playing Fallen Aces? What? Or were you gonna?
I was gonna segue into something, but
okay, go for it. Let's do that
real
first.
quick, let me just Fallen Aces. I've only played a little bit. It's not what I was expecting. I think I was expecting a straight boomer shooter, and it's got like more of a world to explore. It feels more alive than that. It feels bigger and more impressive. So this is that Dave Oshry was talking about it with the guy that actually made the game, Trey Powell, I believe, on the couch at GB at night. It is the very Italian gangster themed, cartoon looking first person shooter from New Blood. And it has all that entails. It is fundamentally at its bones a boomer shooter. But then like the game opens up and it's like your phone's ringing and you got to answer the call, and they're going to tell you someone's coming to get you right now. You got to hide, and you can hide in your closet and then find a floorboard with nails in it. And when the guy comes around the corner, you can hit him with that, and then you can try to escape by getting out the vents. And it's I don't know. It seems like there's a lot more going on, and I'm really into it. I was really impressed by it. I need to spend more time with it to have like a fully formed thought, but just the first impression was pretty impressive. So this is one I think if you guys are looking for something like this, I think everyone probably would get something out of it. So worth checking out.
Sounds like a dogfighting game.
The name of it does. Yeah.
You know, the name
right.
of it, I was like, oh, we're
Yeah.
flying around on this probably.
Yeah, I
what you
wish it
mean.
was a Crimson Skies like, but oh well.
Yes. No airplanes yet in this game. So yeah.
I got some stuff to talk about. I played some video games. I played a game called Pinball Spire.
Hey, me too.
What'd you think?
Is that the Metroidvania one?
Yeah. And I actually I spoke to the developer Tom a little bit too about his game because I'm a pinball freak.
Was he asking the King Ball King for permission to make this game?
Yeah, well, we went back and forth a couple dozen times, and when we finally reached an agreement, we greenlit the project, and here we are. No, I talked to Tom. Tom's a very, very nice guy, very cool dude. And I was just like, hey, I want to tell you, I really like your pinball game. I think your pinball game's cool, and I found it interesting because I was saying like, what's your pinball experience like? And judging if you play this game, it doesn't really play like a sim. It doesn't play like a pinball sim, which I think is good because I don't like pinball sims because to me they sort of exist in this like uncanny realm that they're not a video game, and they're just sort of like trying to do this pinball physics, kind of simulation that I don't buy it. I just don't like it. I don't know.
Well, I think you're right. The uncanny valley is the way of saying it. The closer it gets, the more off it feels to you.
I've played a couple like FX3 ones that I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. When they try and emulate a legacy table like 1-to-1, I think that's fun, especially if it's for a game you can't really find in real life and whatnot. But for the most part, I'm much more the Sonic Spinball, Metroid pinball guy. And
Alien Crush,
yeah, and that is the direct influence for Pinball Spire. And I think the demo is a really small sort of slice, but it does introduce like interesting sort of I know the sort of elevator pitch to this is like a pinball Metroidvania game, and I think the demo does a good job of introducing like what is possible with the sort of abilities that the ball you're playing as can sort of assume, right? There's a whole like torch lighting mechanic where you have to hit these like 5 torches in the play field, and then you're able to move on to the next area.
Now we had Yoko's Island Express, which was kind of already a Metroidvania pinball thing. Is this pretty similar to that, or is there kind of a different approach to that idea?
Yeah, I think it's like the spirit of it is similar for sure. Like it's this progression thing that's gated by you kind of figuring out the mechanic that you have to solve on the playfield.
Right.
Now again, the demo's pretty short, and I think if you're like a pinball freak like me, you kind of like you instantly understand the language the game's sort of speaking, and you blow right through it. But the only thing I would love to see in this game, and maybe it's something that can happen down the road, or maybe not at all, who knows. But I think nudging in a pinball video game is like a fun thing that I want to do, because in Sonic Spinball, like you had a little bit of agency over Sonic as a ball, like you can kind of direct him and lean him left or right or wherever you wanted to do, and that was essentially replacing a nudge mechanic. Something like it in here I think would really pop off real well. But yeah, Pinball Spire's dope. Do you have any more thoughts on it, Sean?
Well, I want to say that I'm in the same boat as you, where I don't like sim stuff in games in general, just whatever it may be. The more realistic to real life it is, the more I kind of have that thought in my head, even if it's something I would never do, like play a sport like pro football or something. It's still that thought in the back of my head, like I could theoretically do this in real life. I could actually kind of just go outside and do some of these things. Like, with pinball, yeah, I would kind of just rather go play on actual pinball tables. But I do really, really love, arcadey video game pinball games.
Sure.
Pokemon Pinball was the one that got me into that, obviously being a Pokemon game back in the day I picked up as a kid. And then I kind of just ran from there. Yeah, like the Metroid Prime Pinball.
I wish we got Metroid Prime Pinball again.
There's that Mario Pinball on GBA
Pinball
that no one ever talks
Pinball
about.
Land,
It's pretty solid.
It's solid. I think it's solid. It's
I need to
not
try it.
underrated.
It's rated
I
where it
like
should
that one. I like that one.
You're right, Mike.
Mike and Grub don't like it because it has the pre-rendered 3D Mario style that they hate so much from that era.
Oh, sure.
Might be
It's also
it.
it's not
For a
great.
pinball game, I'm fine with. I don't want to play a platformer like that, but
I think it's like a perfectly okay, like 7 out of 10. Like I think it's solid. Yeah,
Metroid Prime Pinball, though, that one does rule. I agree with that.
That one
was
rolls. That
You
one's
guys,
incredible.
I was a big
Pinball's
Kirby-
good.
I think
Pinball's
Kirby
good.
Pinball
Fun.
man.
Yeah,
Pinball's
especially when
fun.
you're doing
It's
wild stuff.
good and fun and cool.
Backlar, I don't know if you've ever played it, but Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire is just like an underrated pinball game in general.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's really, really good.
We need that on NSO now. That'd be great.
I'm down.
Yeah.
on the
But with-
17 Plus Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
online.
Oh,
yeah, they're gonna put Vaporeon in.
Yeah, you don't know what Gardevoir is doing in that one, baby.
Gardevoir,
Yeah. No, but with Pinball Spire, I don't know if you feel the same way, Jerf, but I thought the ball felt a little like it didn't feel as weighted as I would have imagined. It did feel like the ball was floating a little bit sometimes, which like threw me off a little bit. I think it may have tweaked the physics a little bit. It would be
That's what I was talking about with like the lack of sim sort of stuff, right? Like,
yeah.
I think, I don't, obviously it's something that's probably, the sort of like Goldilocks zone for like what the playtesting sort of dictated it should go. But that's what I was getting at, right? Where like if it's too simmy and the ball is weighted and it's trying to be more hyper realistic from a physics perspective, it kind of loses me. So I understand the kind of deliberate choice to make it a little light and kind of like floaty.
Yeah, it's not like super off. I just think they need to tweak it like a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, sure. It just needs to feel good, right?
Fair.
It doesn't need to feel realistic for that.
Exactly.
definitely.
It's got to feel good, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
and the abilities are cool. Like I like the fact that there is a slowdown.
Yeah,
but specifically, it's not because in a pinball game, why would you need slowdown? On the flippers, obviously, is you want to line up your shot. And they do this cool thing where if it's touching the flipper specifically while you have slowdown on, a line pops up that shows
that's
you like
smart.
your shot.
Yeah, I like
which I think is also kind of like a cool accessibility feature in a way, because then if you're not great at pinball, like I love pinball games, I'm not necessarily very good at them. I like it when a game does something like this and the pinball falls down, and as it's rolling down the ramp or whatever onto the flipper, I can tell first of all when it's on the flipper for sure because the line will pop up, and then I can tell as it's rolling down the flipper like in slow motion where the shot will be going and line it up better. I think stuff like that is cool. In addition to the torch thing, you don't just light the ball on fire and trigger a switch. You also just light up a dark room sometimes with that stuff, and they are doing some neat little Metroidvania stuff.
And I like that it's like it's controlled by like a manometer sort of thing, and like you only have so much of the torch. If when you light the ball on fire, you can pass through enemies, which I thought was really cool, and that becomes a mechanic in itself. Like, super smart. Like if you're gonna do pinball in a video game, make it be stuff that I can't do in real life, right?
Exactly.
So that's why it was a lot of fun. So cool. That's Pinball Spire. I'm not exactly sure when the full release is out, but
I don't know if we haven't released it yet.
Yeah. All right, this is my last one, and then we can get to everyone else here. My son played all of Portal 1 over the weekend.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Isn't that incredible?
How much are you helping him?
Game.
I didn't have to help him till like level 17.
Okay.
All right, so 17 and 18 and 19 is when it gets really fucking crazy, right? When you basically are doing the multiple like momentum falls and all of these like really, strange physics ideas and stuff. But he played so much of this game by himself. He played 95% of it by himself.
Co-oping Portal 2 next? Are you guys doing that?
Yeah, so that's the next thing. There was something like was bothering him, like when they introduced the turrets. He was just sort of like, wait a second here. I didn't realize I could die like a terrible death now.
Sure.
Like, what is that about? And then the thing I wanted him to experience, right, is like it's a very accessible story. Like it's not complicated. You're just like you're starting to realize like, wait a minute, what's really going on in this fucking place? And that message was delivered with such clarity to this kid, and just he was able to dig that.
Did he find it funny? Did like the humor work for him?
Yeah, he thought it was funny. Well, the whole cake thing he thought was really good. He's like, wait a minute. There's a cake icon on this side. Wait, and then when you start to find like the little crawl spaces that are where someone was scratching into the walls and whatnot, and he's like, the cake is a lie. Wait a minute, what? Wait, is this a person? I think this is I think this is a person with like a robot voice, or it's just a robot itself. And I'm like, there's no way to know. There's just no way to know. It was just fun, man. It was just really cool to see him sort of unfold, and we did it in one sitting.
Yeah, and Portal was such a good game. Like Portal 2 is definitely better, and I love it. But there is something about like Portal 1 is that game you could play through in one sitting, and that was such a memorable first playthrough, and it became this zeitgeist that everybody talked about in this collection that we thought we were going to care more about. Team Fortress 2, and episode 2 was in that one, and those things were fantastic. But Portal really was kind of the big breakout hit there. I still think about that game fondly all the time.
It's crazy. It's like. It's just old. It's just this old game, and it's still so good.
Yeah, it's like almost.
I was in college. Yeah,
it's like 18 years old, 17 years old now.
It's old enough to buy a lottery ticket. It's crazy. And I think like there was a lot of moments where he was just like, the scale kind of opens up, or at least they like create the illusion of scale where you're like, this is some underground chamber, like it, obviously I think Portal 2 does an even better job of like really creating this creepy, like, what the fuck is a fucking planet underground here, right? Like, what's going on? But yeah, it was really cool to watch him play through it and see the end and have that delivered, and he's very excited for the second one.
Do you have a Quest 3 or something, or a Quest 2 VR headset?
Yeah, I have a Quest. I have a Meta Quest 3. Yeah.
You get connected to your Steam VR wirelessly and have them do some of the intro of the like Valve VR stuff, Steam VR stuff, because there's some cool like Portal references in those VR things. I think he would enjoy that. Yeah,
I remember that. Very cool. Okay.
I thought of Dib today. I saw a video this morning of a 9-year-old that did 3 900s.
Yes.
Like he was like skateboarding in a half pipe. Yeah, and my first and only thought was like, I bet Dib couldn't do that.
Yeah,
that's a genuine thought that I had today watching that video.
That's cool.
You might be onto something there, Dan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge. Is that a challenge?
Portal's 18. Yeah, Portal's 18 years old, and
not quite that old.
No, it's
2010.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
All right. 14.
No. It was like that 06, 07.
Yeah.
Like, I was in college.
It might be.
Portal 2 was 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's what it is. You're right. Yeah, I guess it is.
Portal 2 was 2007.
Okay, that sucks. But then, do you guys remember where you were when Tony Hawk did a 900?
No, I remember it happening. I don't remember what I was doing.
I do remember where it was.
Was I in a crib at that point, Rob? I don't know.
No, you wouldn't. But the point is, like someone like pointed out, it's like it was like this massive thing that this old white guy did a 900, and now a kid did 3 back to back, and it's like it must have been like what it was like to go from like Bob Cousy in the NBA to Michael Jordan, and it's like that's 100% what this is.
I do genuinely wonder, not to diminish it or anything, I do wonder if it's like easier for someone smaller to do that though.
It
Just physically.
It is so, but he's going to be able to carry that through for the rest of his life. That's always how. That's what happened with like Shaun White, right? Shaun White started very young and was like crushing it, and he just got better. So
incredible achievement.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, I think the speed at which it seems to be accelerating is probably the most like jarring
skateboarding is
notion
like
of it
having
all.
another massive moment worldwide.
But skateboarding is a very a nascent sport in the grand scheme of things too, right?
Yep.
So
They should make a new Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah, yeah, man. That if they would have had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 in that Xbox show, I still might like it better than the direct, like that much.
I'm starting to have, I've been getting all these video game records because Jeff got me that vinyl player. It's starting to become a problem. Like I was just out and about and stumbled upon a very nice Star Fox 64 thing. Don't want to say how much it was. It was a lot. And then like someone's
really
like,
cool.
Someone's like, I picked that one up in this Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 album. Like, well, where did you get that? So then I bought that. And then like yesterday, IGN's like, hey, get this like 6 vinyl set of the entire Metal Gear Solid franchise. It's like, I'm getting that one too. And I'm like, might need to slow down here.
I have been meaning to bring these up on the Bombcast. We got sent these, the Joystick Jazz, the Blue Shift Big Band, volumes 1 and 2. It's got Treasure Trove Cove from Banjo-Kazooie, Flashman from Mega Man 2, Marble Zone.
There's some Griffin Dango on one of those, right?
Yes, this one has DK Island Swing from Donkey Kong Country and Ocarina of Time Suite, and then this one has, it starts, and you can see the art has Grim Fandango on it right there. Grim Fandango right there at the top. I think it's just the main theme there, and Sonic 2 music, Kingdom Hearts 3 music. These things are really cool. I haven't opened them yet because I unplugged the speakers from mine, but these albums are also, you can just listen to them online, but having the vinyls, it's just beautiful art. I really like it.
I have a Snake Eater one and Snatcher. I have those on
nice.
vinyl.
That's
These
the
are
only two
IM8 big, if anyone's wondering.
The only two I have are the 2 Mega Man Legends ones that came out because you get Mega Man Legends merch, you buy it if you're a fan. We don't get a lot.
The Star Fox 64 one is like, I tweeted like the art of it. It's insanely pretty.
It's really cool. Yeah.
The presentation is so good.
It is very nice. Yeah.
Cool. All right, what else?
Little game called Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. I've been playing that the last several days.
Never heard of it.
It's good. It's really, really good. And playing it now again, every time I play Elden Ring or I'm confronted with Elden Ring, I think like, oh right, maybe this is like the best game of all time. Like it's just so unbelievable. The exploration, just even I'm going through the base game again, and I've seen all this stuff before, and I kind of thought it would lose its luster. The same way I don't want to play Breath of the Wild again necessarily, because I've seen all that stuff. I've made the discoveries. You can't make it twice. But Elden Ring, just the moment to moment is so good. All the different builds you can do are great. So I'm playing Erd Tree, and I had that feeling I had, when you first beat Stormvale Castle the first time, and you step outside the other side, and you see everything on the horizon, you see the world in front of you, and you're like, oh my God, is that all real stuff that I can go to? Obviously, this isn't as big geographically as base Elden Ring, but there is a moment very early on where I stepped out and I saw this area and I was like, oh right, Elden Ring. Like this is unreal. The first boss fight is just a fucked up looking dude.
It's the lion guy or something else.
It's the lion guy. I don't know if you've been in
that
trailers.
guy in the preview, and that's a very fun boss fight.
Super fucked up looking dude. You get a fucked up looking helmet from him that I'm wearing around everywhere now.
Yes.
I've been stuck on this one boss for like 3 fucking days because I'm not good at these games. I've never been good at these games. So like I totally cheese it and summon and stuff like that. But I'm on this like pre-release beta branch thing, so I can't summon people. So I'm at this boss where I can summon 2 AI NPCs, and I've got like a level 10 mimic tier thing. So I've got like 3 things all attacking this boss, but I still have been stuck for like 3 days trying to beat this thing because it has one attack that just one-shots me even if I have full health and I'm using a rune arc and all this stuff. So the challenge is definitely there. I'm like level 144 at this point, and I hit a wall pretty hard. So now I'm going back through that crumbling Farum Azula. I went back and beat the Red Giant. I'm just trying to like farm runes and stuff like that. I was talking to Tam, trying to figure out just how to beat this boss. He's like, oh yeah, you should just farm this one spot here. Just go here and you shoot an arrow at this guy from far away.
Oh, wait, the cliff?
It's a cliff.
Yeah,
but then
I spent so much time there.
I went there and I was like, wait, I just realized I played probably over 200 hours of this game. I've never shot a single arrow, and I couldn't figure out how to shoot an arrow.
Oh my god, dude. Hell yeah.
I farmed the old-fashioned way then. I was too embarrassed to tell Tam, like, I don't know how to shoot this arrow. Like, I had a crossbow, so I equipped the crossbow and I equipped arrows over there, and I'm trying R1, R2. I'm trying to, like, because I saw in the video there's like a reticle, and so I'm just pressing every button. I'm just like jerking off this crossbow, and it's just doing this animation, and it's not shooting an arrow. So it's like, fuck it, I'll just go kill a bunch of shit.
2
in the
years
field.
ago on r/Elden Ring, stupid question, why can't I shoot my bow? It's a little embarrassing, but I can't get it to work. So you're not alone, Dan. You could have Googled it, is what I'm saying.
Lots of people have that problem.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine.
Yeah, I'm 40 now. You know? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But no, it's fantastic. It's great. I'm so looking forward to, like, I've got the surgery in 2 days. I'm gonna be out for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking leaving the house. I am just gonna sit here on pain pills and just play Elden Ring for like 2 weeks. It's probably gonna be a pretty good time.
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't touched it. I did just get it myself, but I'm going to hop in. I think I will finish Thousand Year Door. Since I've waited this long, I think I might just finish Thousand Year Door, but this is number one on the docket for sure.
Nice. I'm beating Thousand Year Door like tonight. I'm right at the end. I've been enjoying that so much. But the other thing I did do once I got back from SGF, I'm not like a huge Civilization person, but I like those games. I was excited Civ 7 was announced, so I did start a game up of Civ 6. Everything's like really on sale with that franchise, or at least with Civ 6. So I got the expansions I never had before for very cheap, like the ones like the global warming expansion, stuff like that. In some ways, like I kind of get excited when the new ones come out. I think a lot of people are like, oh, the new one's out now, it has less content, and I'm kind of like, good. So sometimes there's too many things happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Civ 6, like I'm doing a million things, and it's like, by the way, a volcano erupted. I'm like, okay. It's like, and now Congress is assembling. I'm like, what? That's fine. That's great. It was a lot of fun. It's very chill. I do forget, like, playing a game of Civ 6 is like an 8-hour or more commitment. So it was a lot of fun, but it's kind of weird because, like, I think I do this every time with Civilization, where I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm playing it and I'm learning, and I play for 8 hours, I'm having fun, and then I lose, and it's like, shit, I guess I just played 8 hours to lose. It's like, well, if I start another game right now with what I know, I could probably win. But it's like, nah, I'm good. I just played 8 hours of Civilization. I'll be back in another 2 or 3 years. Or
it's about the experience.
This point, probably waiting till Civ 7. But I still had a really good time. I tried to win with culture. And Teddy Roosevelt beat me with diplomacy instead, actually. So
that'll happen. You know where I saw an ad for Civilization 7? The Switch.
It's coming to Switch.
It's coming to Switch, which I'm like,
Switch One.
Civilization must have done very well on Switch, is what I'm starting to realize. It's like, I think
so.
It was always on sale there. I think people just picked it up and it did really well. But I wanted to check back in after seeing you play.
That makes a lot of sense to me, because I'm not a Civ guy, but I have friends who are really into it, and they'll do like the asynchronous mode and everything like that. And so I'd imagine people love doing like some sort of single player campaign or something where you just pick up your Switch for like 20 minutes, do your turn or two or what.
I own it on Switch, and I don't remember buying it, so it's like it must be one of those situations. Yeah.
My kind of other, like, this is just a me thing. Like, when I play Civ, I'm like almost playing it more like a city builder. And whenever army stuff gets involved, military stuff, I'm kind of like, I really don't care about this. And it usually gets me because, like, okay, well, I'm not going to invade other people, but there's always somebody who invades me eventually. And then for a while, it becomes this weird game of me defending my empire and making army units and like shooting people. And I'm like, I get kind of a bit disengaged at that point, but it's, this integral part of the game. Like, I get it, but I'm definitely there more for all of these other systems. Like, I like to be a guy, I built, Big Ben in the Eiffel Tower in the same city. Isn't that wacky? Less about like, I'm going to make a nuke and nuke somebody.
I like that stuff the best as well, the cultural stuff. But then they're like, do you want to build a nuke? And I'm like, yes, sir, I do.
Yes, you do.
100% I do. I am so sick for that stuff. So it's all the parts of Civ always get me. I think cultural victory is also the most fun one to go for. It's so interesting to see, like, to have a city on your border and be like, well, we just made such good TV that they're like, we're American now. That's what we are now. I'm like,
Yeah, that's a powerful feeling.
yeah, it feels real good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
what was that cultural victory joke I made forever ago?
that
People are having multiple Christmas trees.
3 Christmas trees in his basement. That's cultural victory. Yep.
It's good stuff.
Hell yeah. All right, cool. I didn't know you take you for a Civ guy, but you're a Civ
Not
guy.
a huge Civ guy. It was
Everyone's a
Civ
little bit of a Civ guy.
Revolution.
Yes.
Yeah, Civ Revolution on 360 was my
Own
game.
it, man.
Actually,
Come on. Why you don't have any more room on the plate for things Menotti likes?
I'm not a big strategy guy, but the ones that are a bit more like city building. Yeah, I like the Anno games a bit. I'm like the one person who's probably excited about that new Anno game that they announced
You
at
would
the
be.
Ubisoft thing. I know.
That checks out.
Someone's got to be an Anno guy in this industry.
I like you liking things. Is
Yes.
really what I've learned about
Thank you,
Menotti.
Beckler.
So happy to hear you like it. All right, what else? We got a couple more here before we got to say it's break time.
I'm like 6 hours into Hollow Knight, and that game's very good. Would like to recommend it to everyone who is not. I don't know why you haven't played it yet. If you haven't played it, it's a great game.
You've always been such a big proponent of it, Dan.
Exactly. I've always said that, and now it's just great to go through again and having a great time. I got an air dash. I got a wall jump. The combat feels incredible. All the stuff you can do with the charms and your loadouts is great. Just a great art style.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how you feeling about that art style. Everything animated
Fantastic.
very well?
There's a real ambiance to it. The music is beautiful. It's a beautiful game. I would call it that.
Beautiful game.
It excels in every way a Metroidvania could. So absolutely love it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's incredible. Even Dan Luck wasn't enough to get a Silk Song announced today. You did your best. Jeff Grubb, you were another person in my life who just didn't really get into Hollow Knight. Do you think you're going to give it another go at some point?
Yeah,
here?
I've been planning to give it another go. I was never actually against it. It was always just like, I just fell off for some reason this first hour. I could tell it's my fault and not the game's fault.
This man is such a liar. No. Don't leave me out to dry with this one, Grubb. No. We are on the same boat together. I'm not letting you off of this one.
I need to play
It's a
more of
sinking
it
boat, Sean.
to know for sure.
It seems like it, Mike.
That boat's getting lonely over there.
I'll give it another shot here probably pretty soon. We'll see if I can make some time for it.
If anything, I'm just frustrated that like for years, Mary Kish has dissuaded me from it. She's just like she has a thing against indie games, and she basically kind of talked down on it for many years.
She's an Emmy winner,
Made me
right?
not want to check it out.
Yeah,
she's what?
She's an Emmy winner. She can't associate with that riffraff.
Right, indie games are too low production for her.
Wait, is that for real?
Yes.
No,
That Hollow Knight was like she was really
she
saying
loves Hollow Knight.
she's being
more
very
than
reductive.
anything.
She's being very reductive about Hollow Knight for years, and made me not want to try it. But I'm open-minded, so I tried it, and it's very good. So I'm going to try to get her to give it another shot.
Yeah, you gotta
Dan
do
has
something about her.
always been the person who keeps propping up indie games. Every single year, you look at his game of the years, they're like
Seriously.
infallible. No gaps in there at all whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not mostly just Nintendo remakes for sure. No, absolutely.
That's not right. All right.
Already was my game of the year. Neon White. I love indie games.
I'm
Yeah,
better
it's
at
not
Neon
just-
White than you.
Well, we'll see. I didn't know you at the time, so it doesn't count.
Hey,
No.
What rule is
you're
that?
mixing it up with Astro's bot.
Look, in my head, it all makes sense. So don't
Oh,
worry
I'm
about it.
sure it does. A lot of things in your head.
I'm
So
glad you
Mary-
like
Mary,
Hollow
give it a
Knight.
shot.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's just to me, it's a Mount Rushmore entry for Metroidvanias.
Yeah, I could see it being that by the time I'm done.
Cool. All right. Who beat the case of the golden idol?
Me. It's good. I think I probably talked about it last time I was on. But yeah, it's
I'm just glad.
incredibly.
I'm so happy to hear that you're into this game. That's awesome.
Oh, I was just staring at that last thing for like 4 hours, trying like just so many sticky notes on my screen and everything, trying to piece everything together. And it was so much fun. Like, I would hit walls mentally, like logically and stuff, and it wouldn't frustrate me. It made me just want to go back and like clear the whole slate and be like, all right, so we know he was here. Okay, in the morning this happened. It's just a fantastic logic puzzle. And the fact that I got into it right before the sequel's coming out with a setting that I like more, I'm super duper excited for Rise of the Golden Idol now.
See, I never played this, and part of me is maybe just going to wait for the next one because again, it's that '70s detective thing. Reminds me of Columbo. I think that will maybe be a better entry point for me, anyways.
So yeah.
Are you going to
Fantastic
play the DLC, Dan?
I was considering it. It's just, like right when I finished it is when I got like Third Tree and some other stuff that's coming out. And like, so I got some other stuff to work on, but it's good to know it's there. That like, I could see myself remembering about that on a plane and be like, oh shit, I'm going to do that,
Case the Golden Idol did just get added to Netflix on mobile, Mike. So if you're ever like looking for something to play, like if you're ever in a situation where you need to kill some time, that might be a good way to play that game.
We might. I got to finish Thousand Year Door. I'm doing a zero mission playthrough, and then we'll see.
Real quick, I played some Steam Next Fest demos. I had them listed here somewhere. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually like my big segment here because this is all I did all weekend was sort of be our reporter on the ground for all
I
of
was
this stuff.
So I was wondering if you would have some time for that.
Excellent. Yeah, you want me to just like run through a list and then if anyone else
I got a couple I'll throw in there. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have them all downloaded still, so I can just like go down the list and like order.
Mine have disappeared from my list. I know that they were timed. I'm like, why aren't they here anymore? So
the way it should work is that if you still have them downloaded, it'll be like
maybe they're on my Steam Deck. Okay, that makes sense. If I still had them downloaded, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I still have them on my desktop, so like it'll just like turn to a purchase button if it's no longer playable. Some of them are still playable because it's that's the way some of these demos work. But yeah, just going down the line, we already talked about Pinball Spire. I thought that one was very good. Anton Blast had a Next Fest demo, which I'm really looking forward to that one. That's the Wario Land 4 specifically styled one.
Oh, right.
So yeah, kind of like Pizza Tower.
Pizza Tower,
from last year?
Yep.
Yeah, but that one had such a zany art style, very like Ren and Stimpy.
That's right.
This one is a little more reined in, so I like it a little bit more. It's not quite as crazy, and very clearly going for the Wario style.
Yeah, those guys at SGF came up to me and thanked me for knowing what their game was when it was in that direct that we talked over a little bit ago. So I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I love Anton Blast. Love the way it looks.
No,
so
yeah, that game
It.
rules. Yeah, and it does play like just like Wario Land 4, where you get the timer at the end to like get out of the level and everything. And
cool.
It feels very similar. It is one of those games where this is clearly a spiritual successor, and I'm all for it. Next up was Double Shake. Grubber Mike, did you have a chance to check this one out?
I think
this is the one. This is the Mischief Makers, right?
Yeah, Mischief Makers, little Klonoa in there. Yeah, where it is very Mischief Makers, where you're on a 2D plane, 3D character, and the way you interact with enemies and the world and stuff is you like glomp onto them and you shake them and like toss them around the stage and stuff like that. It spoke to me because it does have sort of this like tropical island setting that I thought was kind of interesting and neat. Very summertime game. I don't know what's coming out, but at least this demo is very nice to play. And so, that indie 2D platformer type thing, it's always good to see. And it's like Anton Blast. I like seeing devs sort of pick up the mantle of these games that we're definitely not going to get a sequel to anytime soon, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, this might have been, let me take a look. I think this might have been my favorite one that I played this time around. It's called Bloodless. And Bloodless, yes. It's a game where the perspective, think like Zelda, that what do you call it, 3/4 camera view or whatever. And you play as this character. The thing that stuck out to me was that it's very specifically Neo Geo Pocket art style.
Ooh,
so you know how stuff is all like monotone. The characters are monochrome, black and white, but they have like defining features are one color. So like the main character, her whole thing is she's a samurai who is like ashamed of her past. And so she doesn't want to pick up a sword ever again. She refuses. So her defining feature is her arm gauntlets that she uses to parry and defend against attacks. And that's the entire game. These dudes will be coming at you with swords and stuff. And what you do, the way you deflect, you don't like stand and parry like you might in a fighting game or something. You have to dash into attacks. And so you are constantly moving around the battlefield, like dashing into enemies, dashing into even their like projectiles, like kunai and stuff that comes flying at you. And you can combine that with eventually you get a key strike, it's called, where it's basically a punch, and it's entirely non-violent combat that you need to engage in against these people who are trying to kill you. It's a very interesting dynamic that's going on there. Fun story. The art style is going a long way for me. You have these very muted background of like blues and greens, and then you have these black and white characters with like you have one character who's like a wearing a kimono, and it's just like pink, and that's her defining thing, and she's wearing a pink kimono, and just the art style is doing a lot for me. And combine that with the fact that is an interesting concept, like engaging in sort of like a hack and slash, but you're not doing any of the hacking and slashing. You're specifically trying to stun your enemy by like disarming them and hitting them with just like, palm strikes enough that you can disarm them and they'll run away. I think it's a very cool concept for a game. And I will say, even though the combat
bloodless, yeah.
Even though the combat you're doing is non-violent, very violent things happen in the game and your character has to deal with that. Like there's a moment where she is trying to like talk to these people who are attacking her, and you've sort of come to an understanding and everything, and one of them just gets cut down by another samurai, and he's like, finally, we're done with that filth. That's all you do is like you just need to like chop their head off and walk away. And she's just like mortified and dealing with like, I've tried so hard to go through this area to like rectify, like make amends, and one person just took a life and ruined everything for all of us. And like the screen turns bright red and she's like dealing with like this instant trauma and everything like that. It's very, very good. Bloodless, one more time. I think it's really good. I hope people are talking about it whenever it does eventually get
it looks
full
great.
release. Yeah, it's very, very fun.
3D Realms, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if the demo, I think this is one where the demo is still available.
Yeah, it is. The demo is still available now.
Yeah, go check out that demo right now. It comes out in August, everybody.
Nice.
Let's see. What else do I got here? I have Old School Rally, which is the, Grub, I was telling you about this, the Sega Rally-like that came out.
Looks great.
And it's just Sega Rally. You get like CRT filter on there, and that's exactly how it plays and everything. At least as far as I remember it. It's really good. Yars Rising did have a demo. Grub, you played this one, I believe?
Yeah, I played it at SGF, and it was great to talk to the developers while doing it. I thought it was pretty good because I think my expectations were pretty low, and I think it feels good. It's not as good as Metroid Dread in terms of the way it feels, but it's good enough in a lot of ways. And then I think they're doing a lot of interesting stuff where, like I mentioned, the hacking game is a recreation of the original Yars Revenge, right? Yars Revenge Atari game, and I like that a lot. It's a good touch.
It's very much not what I was expecting. Yeah, 2D like Metroidvania type thing, and then the hacking is Yars Revenge. It didn't quite click with me, but I could see by the end I was starting to get powers that were making it a little more interesting. So maybe it'll come together in the final product.
Yeah,
but,
this is one where it's like if you have any affinity for Atari stuff at all, because they're making a lot of references, it's going to help. That's going to be the vast majority of the audience is not going to have that. So yeah, I think the powers will really help. They put me in a later save in the game when I had a lot more powers, and that definitely helped like make it work for me.
Okay. G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra, which is a Shredder's Revenge style 2D beat 'em up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It did feel as good as Shredder's Revenge or other recent 2D platform or 2D beat 'em up revivals. So that one didn't really do much for me either.
Okay.
It's weird, like, when I say floaty, you guys know about me, like, I don't like floaty controls in games at all. This one is one where literally you'll jump and the character will stay in the air for a little bit before coming down, which feels weird in a beat 'em up. Yeah, I think they need to tweak the controls on it, but it looks very pretty, so I hope they get
I was never much of a G.I. Joe kid.
Me neither.
I wouldn't either.
No, I think I was like...
If
I'd been a couple years older. Yeah, I think if I'd been a couple years older, I would have been. But I was like, the first thing I remember being obsessed with was Ghostbusters, and then it was Turtles.
Yes,
Turtles.
Yeah, real Ghostbusters and Turtles.
It must have been like late 70s, like, right?
I think very early 80s. Yeah,
I'm saying people born in the late 70s.
Oh yeah, Vinny Caravella is like the guy I think of when I think of G.I. Joe for real.
Yep.
So yeah,
and like Transformers,
he's a Transformer guy.
That's
also,
he's the right age for those because I don't give a shit about Transformers. I don't give a shit about G.I. Joe.
I could not give less of a shit about Transformers.
I care a lot about
but he grew up in the
Transformers.
60s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They had a trailer for a new Transformers CG movie in front of Inside Out too. It's like Optimus Prime and the evil one's origin story.
John Hamm does the voice for Megatron or something. It's weird.
It's Megatron. Yeah, it didn't look. I mean, it looks stupid, but in a maybe way that if I was an 8-year-old boy, I'd be super into it.
I feel like I remember G.I. Joe like popping up and then just being like, I'm a kid. I don't want to fight in a war.
See, that's the thing. I would have fucking loved it if I saw it, but I never saw like flipping through channels and watching
Sergeant
cartoons.
Slaughter was in it.
Yeah, I would have been all about it if I was the right age for it. Yeah.
G.I. Joe would be the thing that gets you guys to pop off a little bit.
Sorry there.
No, all good. Has anyone seen anything about super moves? I thought someone
Super
talked about this
moves.
on a couch
Oh,
at one point.
is this
maybe.
like the running game or whatever?
Yeah, this is like parkour, competitive parkour.
Yeah, I did
is
play
basically
this.
what it is.
Yeah, I think I played this
Okay,
one.
this one's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's basically you'll be given an obstacle course that's kind of like Wipeout style, where you just parkour across the course, but it's a race against other people. So you'll like try to do 3 laps or something.
Is it Mirror's Edge Fall Guys?
It's Mirror's Edge.
It's Mirror's Edge Fall Guys a little bit. Yeah.
It's Mirror's Edge.
Okay.
Someone thought, what if Mirror's Edge, but dude perfect?
Kind of. It certainly has that sort of vibe about it. This one was interesting. I thought it generally felt pretty good to control and everything, which is very important in a parkour-focused game. And just the concept of like this being a competitive multiplayer thing. It was hard to tell. I don't think I actually play against other humans in this. I think it was just bots for the demo. But I could see this being kind of an interesting thing. Like, maybe we pick this up for UPF or something when it comes out. Because this could be an interesting
You know how I
multiplayer
feel
game.
about Mirror's Edge, so I'm definitely interested in this.
What I
I guess
appreciate...
you like it? Is that what you mean?
I love Mirror's Edge.
Oh, he
Mirror's
loves
I didn't
Edge-
know
Mirror's
that.
Edge 1 is probably super great.
For real?
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge?
Dan.
Mirror's Edge. You don't like Mirror's Edge, Dan?
Nope.
Why? It's such a dewy, fun game.
The first person platforming was not good in that. It ran
Oh,
like
you're-
shit.
Oh, you're
Just didn't
crazy.
like any part of it. No.
Okay, so
I remember enjoying the first one, but it's
Yeah, well,
weird
the
that I
second
like-
one's
Yeah, no one
like,
cares about the second
whatever.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge
This
1.
ties into my take on this demo, though, because I didn't like Mirror's Edge 1 specifically. It's the only game that's ever given me motion sickness.
Ah.
I was having a bad time playing that game. Super moves, I appreciate. You can choose first person or third person. And so I was playing in third person view as just
Okay. Well,
A
that
lot
probably help
better for
people.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never really had that problem, but I've been like so much more aware recently of how like first person throws some people off. So like, I think it's whenever you can alleviate that for people, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, good accessibility. Disco Samurai, which is another one that I believe Grub has at least like heard of in passing from
Yes.
people, which is where it is one of those like isometric hack and slash games, but it's to the rhythm. So it's a Crypto Necrodancer or a Hi-Fi
Yeah.
Rush type thing.
Mm.
And you're doing everything to the rhythm. So it's a little more Crypto Necrodancer where, it'll be like the beat will be like bum, 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 bum. And you'll have to do like slash, parry, long parry, and like string all these things together. I found that it was a little difficult once they started throwing in a lot of the stuff, but in a way where I really wanted to master it. And I was having a good time because I'm a big rhythm game guy. It's never overwhelming because it's never like multiple enemies attacking you at the same time, but you just have to position yourself like, okay, let me focus on this person, and then I'll do slash, get some hits in, and then switch over to this person once that person is down. It was a short demo. They basically just taught you the basics of the game, but I thought it was very good. Thought it was very fun. I'm looking forward to that one. A Kimbot, which is a Kimbo robot.
dual wheeled robot game. Yeah.
Yeah, this I didn't realize this is what this would be. It's a Ratchet and Clank like.
Oh.
Yeah,
It looked
like
good.
Oh, yeah, it's a
You-
3D
you play-
platformer.
Yeah, you play very much as a Ratchet style character who has a little companion floating around.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
you-
very ratchet. Jeez.
Man, that's
And the
wild that
demo's
an
still out
indie-
for this.
Yes,
An indie
down.
team can just make a Ratchet and Clank now.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
right.
Dan,
That's
it's
where
down
we're
to the point that there's wooden boxes you crack open and these collectibles fall out and then they like suck into you like ting 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 ting. Like it's Ratchet.
Even the guy's got little like ears. It
Yeah.
just looks like the Ratchet deadlocked when he had the
Yeah.
mask over his face. It just looks like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're playing as a robot, so he does kind of look like that.
I like the look of this. Yeah.
I liked it quite a bit. My only criticism, the characters talk a lot and it's not good. It's
Is that
not
a
good.
verbosity slider?
I wish it did because I don't think it do. But at least if you can turn the voices down, like no offense to the voice actors or anything, but they were doing a very, very like one person would be the upbeat person, like the upbeat robot trying, hey, yeah, we can do it, and the Ratchet guy would be like, don't tell me what to do, just like very deadpan. It was just like not doing anything for me. I was
I was trying to think if there's ever a game, if it had a verbosity slider, if I would crank it up. And I think it's Star Fox 64.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like the banter. Yeah, I
Wait,
guess I
so-
should be thankful.
This is weird, you guys. So this developer has like 2 games, I guess, that they sort of are working on.
Mhm.
The other one's called
Raptor.
Yeah, the other one's called Pumpkin Jack, and like the top
Oh,
line
Pumpkin
is
Jack
like
is great.
Oh wait,
yeah.
That's-
is that already
is
out?
that Evil
That's already
Raptor?
out?
Oh, That game was good.
Is it?
Which is like medieval meets Jack and
Are you
Daxter.
sure?
No,
Are you sure, Becco? Because
that-
I don't see that.
I'm looking at it, evilraptor.com.
Okay, maybe they have.
Yeah, I remember that being fun.
Pumpkin
Oh,
Jack,
was it
Jack is
Pumpkin
like,
Jack? Was that one person and then now they're a team?
Yeah, because
I
Pumpkin
think that
Jack
might
on
be.
Steam, anyways, is just listed as Nicholas Masonier.
Evil
That
Raptor
game
might have
rules.
worked on like the port for a different like they because that game's out
Okay.
on Switch and stuff. So Evil Raptor might have worked on it in that way because it's
Okay, that's cool.
yeah
It
that's cool.
just looks similar, to
and
be
Pumpkin
honest.
Jack is really fun, but this game looks really surprisingly good because like you said like
Yeah.
Ratchet, I'm like okay, it'll have the Ratchet shooting. It's like no, there's like,
Oh,
outer space
Ratchet.
and he's running on the walls and yeah, it
Yeah.
looks amazing.
yeah, it impressed me quite a bit. Again, just shut the characters up. Is my only feedback there. Is Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers the one we said that Jan should stay away from because it would ruin his
It's got
There's a lot of
degenerate
them.
gamblers in the title.
Yeah, it does.
It's
Yeah.
really trying to be Balatro, but with fucking blackjack. And I don't know, that was
Poker's better.
yeah, it's weird because it's directly head to head against like a CPU opponent, and it's just like if you have a better hand than them, you deal damage to them. The difference in numbers, and if you both if they bust, you deal the entirety of your hand to them. So it's HP based, but it is very much trying to do that whole thing of like, oh, we have power ups, you have permanent roguelike upgrades and everything like that. I thought it was an interesting concept, but I don't know if they were specifically trying to do this because of the success of Balatro, but it doesn't hit quite as well for
It's a
me.
Yogs Cast game. Oh wow, okay.
Oh, well, there you go. Let's see, and then I think just a couple more here. There's a
Oh my God.
bunch of them, but yeah.
Oh, but back, I think he was just reacting to you saying there's a couple more.
I was like, what? What's wrong?
No, like it's
Breaking news?
No, I forgot. I don't know people who can do what you've done. Like, I think that's
He wasn't in
This is
SGF.
my
He had some
weekend.
time.
This is just
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
I
like,
did all weekend long.
like,
was sleeping in bed all week back.
like I've never. I can't remember the last time I met someone who was like, "Yeah, I play video games all week." And that's all. That's all.
I'm glad I haven't touched any of these, and now I'm wish listing a lot of this.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
So
That's
thank
what I
you,
want to do.
Chuck.
I want people to see the good ones here. Let me see. Okay, real quick. Yeah, I'll hit 3 here. Hookah Haze. I'll just be really quick on this one. It's like Coffee Talk or Valhalla.
It sounds
those,
like a Ben and Jerry coffee or ice cream flavor.
yeah, well, I mean, kind of. It's like one of
PR.
those.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Can
it's
I
one of
look
those
at this one? Can I put this on the
Yeah.
feed?
Yeah, don't look at this one till
you
after your
can.
surgery, where you can be horny again.
What am I? Oh dear.
Again, it's like Coffee Talk or Valhalla, cyberpunk bartending action or whatever it's called. But one of those like visual novels where you bartend for people and it brings in customers and you just talk to them. But this one has pretty anime girls, and so that's why
This one
it's getting some
picture.
attention.
Oh my god! Sharing that one in chat. Holy shit!
Oh Jesus Christ! Mike,
There's
what
no
did you dig
safety
up
anywhere
here?
here.
What the fuck is that?
What the what
It's
is with the
smoke.
fangs?
Don't worry, it's smoke.
Why do we give these
hookah.
girls like sharks, like shark teeth or fangs sometimes? And
People are
like,
into
yeah.
that. I don't know.
I like when the teeth are really sharp. Like why? I
Yeah.
don't. I think that's weird.
You're all getting arrested.
I honestly didn't think it was very good personally, but it was. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm getting this right, this is made by Acquire, the Octopath people.
What?
I believe I'm
It
not
says
like
Acquire.
mixing up multiple acquires there or anything, but that's what took me for a loop there, and that's being published by Aniplex, the like anime company. I was like, what? So that's why I want to check it out. I was curious what this combination would give us. Yeah, I don't know. It was all right. Wasn't.
It's got to be a different acquire. I refuse to believe.
Yeah, Mike is like, no. I mean, it's all pixel art and everything. So I'm
Yeah,
like, that
guess so.
kind of checks out. And then the last big one specifically from Steam Next Fest was I did play the Metal Slug Tactics demo. I'm very excited for this game. I have been since it came out. I like my tactics and I like Metal Slug too. So it was perfect fit. It's a good tactics game. It honestly didn't blow me away just in that demo, but it was the kind of demo where once you were starting to get into the supers that were like airstrikes and everything, I was like, okay, no, I've seen everything I need to see. I know I'm playing this game when it comes out. I'm very excited for it. even if this demo was a little lighter on the wow factor, I also didn't play a ton of it because it gives you like a whole map to do, and each it has like a Mario 3 style map where you go to each little node, and then that node is a level. So it's like a decent sized demo, and I believe this is one that's still live. Yeah, so people can download if they want to. Yeah. Turns out Most Like Tactics has been in development hell as far as we can tell forever, but it's looking good.
Nope.
What's weird is that new Metal Slug game, Attack Reloaded, the tower defense thing, got released today. That's out now.
Yeah.
That other one
I'm
that showed up at
pretty
the Direct.
sure that's a mobile game that's just getting ported.
It sure looks like it.
Situations.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. Yeah, Tactics definitely looked like the more exciting thing there. Although I'm kind of like, hey, how about we just get a Metal Slug game? Like
wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be fun.
Well,
another
I guess
gun.
we'll talk about in the news. I'll ask you guys then.
Yeah, Dotemu could do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I played a couple. I'll just mention them real quick. Blade Chimera looks really good. That's from
I checked that out a little bit too.
Yeah, it's from the ones that did that Lotus War game. It's a Metroidvania that has, like I said, is the animation weight of Blackthorn. And I really dug it, actually.
This one looks very cool.
It's very cool.
It's neat, yeah.
Arrow GPX is an F-Zero one. Honestly, I think the demo for that one's still live. Everyone should just go check that out. Like, I think it does a pretty good job of getting close to F-Zero. I think those spiritual Nintendo successors from indie developers don't always hit. There's a lot of Star Fox ones, and most of them have been like, it's not exactly what I want. This one's getting pretty close. But the one I wanted to mention the most is, I don't know how to say it, Caracoles or something. It is this slug racing game that is unhinged. It looks like an acid trip. And what you do is the round starts, it shows you the course, and you draw a line on the course, and then it starts, and everyone else is drawing a line, and then the slugs just race. And if they go through mud, they go slow and they lose more stamina. If they go through like one of these puddles, these glowing puddles, you get your stamina back and you go faster. And then there's like speed strips where you go even faster. So you're trying to like quickly draw the line because you only have a certain amount of time once you start drawing the line to get it down on the page. And then you have to like try to get it the shortest distance so your slug might have a chance to win. And then you just let it go. And then it's like this gambling thing where it's like everyone's slug is going, who's going to win? It's unhinged. I think it will be a make for like a good UPF or something. So I was excited about this one. Yep.
Wild. And then one, I don't know if it was specifically Steam Next Fest, but it came out around the same time, I believe, is Geno Kids, GENOKIDS. This is one where you know how a bunch of indie developers recently were doing the like 4 images where like, my game and then 3 games it's inspired by trend on Twitter. This was one that caught my eye because the people did like I forget what one of them was, but it's like Devil May Cry and Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, all right, what you cooking on over here?
Me for a second.
Dan, you will be maybe excited. No, it is just Kingdom Hearts like movement, like the running on walls and like grinding on stuff and stuff like that. But then the combat is very Devil May Cry. It has an interesting Sonic Heroes element where you can switch between the characters mid combo to like extend the combos and stuff, and you are just switching between the different kids and their different abilities. One is just like a very Dante, hack and slash, raise them up into the air, get an aerial rave going, and then slam them down. And then you can switch to one that's like the punchy dude who's just like can charge up a punch, send them flying across a level and stuff. It's the knuckles. And it's just, it was a good one. I really thought that they have something there. It's a little rough in its current demo state, but hey, that's what demos are for. And I'm looking forward to that one. We're talking about indies being the future of gaming in a lot of ways around here a lot nowadays. And I love seeing so many of the games I just talked about here coming from like small teams or like, 1 or 2 people. I think it's really cool. I think Steam Next Fest was a good way to like demo all this, especially around the SGF season and everything like that. Future's bright for these indies.
Yep, looking good.
Hell yeah. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be the news's turn. Stick around. We'll go over what happened at the Nintendo Direct and more after this. Hey, welcome back to the Giant Bombcast. I got a couple things I want to get into before the news real quick.
Please.
Today I just received a care package.
Oh.
I don't know where it was. Where was I talking about my nuts?
Most podcasts, most content.
Doctor.
Every call we've done, you texted me the other day about them.
And how much I love
you're
nuts.
talking? You talking shoot balls, or are you talking about peanuts? Like, are you talking testicles or peanuts? Or
I'm talking about nuts, not my test. No, what? No.
I absolutely thought you were talking. Okay.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about my love for peanuts and
Okay,
all
well,
peanut things.
say that. Okay.
And almonds and cashews. Weezeman, who's a frequent friend of the site, always around. I got your care package of your gigantic bowl of nuts, and I cannot thank you enough. Oh my God, you guys fucked up.
yeah, I was going to ask, who cares enough about you to send you a care package?
Well, look, it's a short list, but also these nuts, my nuts were in LA while you guys were there.
Oh,
And it was so I
long
feel
ball
like
backlar.
cross country.
Yeah.
And so you could have enjoyed my nuts out there without me.
There it is.
But you didn't. You didn't take the time to look for my nuts in LA,
Okay.
and therefore I had them sent
I
back
would
to
love
me.
your nuts.
Well, look, you
You're
missed
gonna
out
love
on
my
that.
You're gonna love them.
And thank you, Weezeman, so very much. An incredibly generous care package you sent. Really appreciate it. I hope you hear this. There you are in chat. Love you too, bud. Thank you so much. The note said, Jerf, you're gonna love my nuts.
Yeah, I'm glad we're still doing slap chop jokes.
Yeah, that's
what
slap
first
chop,
up?
right? Okay, man.
What is slap
What's slap
chop?
chop?
Slap
There was
chop's
that
where that
one
comes from.
info
Oh,
commercial, and the guy was like slapping things. He's like, "You're gonna love my nuts," because he was slapping the nuts.
I mean, no one calls their balls nuts anymore. Anyway,
What
so
do
I don't
you
even
call
think-
them?
Boy,
my
they
testicles.
I call
I
them
hear
balls.
too.
When
In
my
the
kids actually
balls.
hit me in the nuts, I say, "You just hit me in the nuts,"
it's
and I get
nuts and
very angry
balls
at them.
are like 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Do we still say nads?
Do you think?
No.
I wish there
no.
were Nads and Nards back.
Nards is good.
Yeah.
Nards is
Yeah.
good.
I like
Nards
coin
is good.
purse. I think in the coin purse is funny.
Sure.
I don't want a whole phrase though. You just want one funny word, and I
Yeah.
think Nards accomplished
But
that.
Keith,
so you
Keith
think
David
in the-
saying, "How'd you get the beans above the Frank?" has been in my head
Yeah.
a lot in the past couple of
Totally.
weeks, and so I've been thinking about beans a lot. That's good.
What about like in the Family Feud style? You think nuts would be? I think balls would be number one.
I think
Balls would be
nuts
one.
would be 2
number one.
though.
Yep,
Nuts is
agreed,
2.
agreed.
Sean, do you want to
like,
do a family feud for us for this, and then I could make a document and say, "What do you call your
We-
testicles?"
Someone
We
do a
can make
poll in
this
the
work.
chat.
We
Let's
can
see.
make this work.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
curious. I think
My
balls
gonads.
and nuts, but it's close.
Dan, you said that like you remember how to do polls.
Someone,
No, I said somebody do it.
someone actually, can you guys
I
not?
do it,
We
I
could all
do.
not look, and then we could guess. Sean, if you want to do it, then like the four
Well, no,
of us
if
will
we
guess.
guess out loud,
Sure.
they're gonna try to work it.
Well,
Right.
no, yeah, but after we'll let the poll run, and then we go. Then we guess what
Yeah.
what won the poll.
Give me
We just won't
all
look at
the
results.
options.
It'll be exactly how Family Feud
Is-
works.
Is D's nuts part of nuts?
Yeah.
What do you
that's
mean?
Just
Yeah.
adjacent to
Yeah,
What's a Z? And
We're
like,
talking about
These-
just what the
these
noun is.
Nuts would show up
Yeah,
on the
sure,
board.
sure,
It was
sure.
called-
I got balls. I got nuts. I got
Marbles.
nads,
I think we just do balls versus nuts.
Well, it's not
balls,
family.
balls will
we
take
get-
it. Balls will take it.
Yeah,
but I mean,
we need
Are we
options
guess-
here.
oh,
Yeah,
well,
like
we wanna
you.
do-
I need
are we doing what's
sack.
your favorite?
I think we need a scientist.
What do you most often as well?
It's just
You know,
family
go-
feud
prefer-
stuff. It's just what do you think of first? Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
asked 100 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 100 people. What do you call your balls?
All right, while we're figuring out that important science, we've got news. Also, my other part of the news. No, wait.
This one gonna be about your. Never mind.
This
that,
is
Mike?
about this is about
Nah.
the front. No, this is about the fact that I did another thing, and I've got another 3D printer here, and I'm just
Wow.
like I'm going down that thing again. Look.
Are you making
Like
like
earlier, like I don't know anyone who plays video games over the weekend. Who has time for that? You have multiple 3D printers.
What do you mean multiple? No, I got rid of the other one I had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So just one.
It was,
Okay.
it was at
I
least.
just have one. And this one is real. It's like, it's easy. It was like, I set it up in 20 minutes. It was awesome. It's amazing. But if
Different nuts.
I'm printing nut holders.
struck nuts?
Oh,
Yeah.
You can't print any organic material. You can only like print the thing that would help you out, So like a nut cup.
It's
They make
the
those.
opposite of the time machine from Terminator. Like only in organic material works. On this.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
Okay.
Confused Seagull. I got a bamboo, and I'm really excited about it. So if you're a 3D printer nerd, hit me up. Okay.
There was
the
a
news,
Nintendo
like we
Direct
said.
today. Oh boy,
Yeah.
was that
Yeah.
good. That's the big headline here is Nintendo Direct, and then I listed every single game. I'm going to say every game name. We don't have to talk about them all. Let's
Should we do a thing where it's just like there's a volume, like a cheerometer, where we all just make noise and the little needle goes up?
I like that. And then we wrap back around and talk
meter.
about the most important ones. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just name them, and then everyone just makes sounds according to how excited you are about it.
Okay. In chat, you could come up with a reaction here. All right. Mario and Luigi Brothership. Let's go! Yeah! Woo! Nintendo World Championships. Yeah!
Yeah.
Fairy Tale 2.
What?
Phantasian Neo Dimension.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Nintendo Switch Sports. Sports 2. Basketball now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mio Memories in Orbit.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah.
That was the worry thing, right?
Disney Illusion Island update.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that game. Hello Kitty Island Adventure now on Switch. I'll do this for Jan. Woo! Yeah. Let's see. Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports.
God.
Among Us update.
Ugh.
Farmagia.
There you go. For my
I don't like saying that. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Yeah. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. Yeah.
Fucking go.
Like golf clap for me. Funko Fusion. Luigi
Sound- what's the
2 HD.
We were scared to be the one who makes a sound.
Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Yeah.
Sure.
The new Dimpa Man. Or Men. Yeah. Let's see here. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. Yeah. Hang on, everyone. I'll fix the audio. There it is. Let's see here. Darkest Dungeon 2. Nintendo Switch Online updates with A Link to the Past, Metroid Zero Mission, Turok, your Rocks Off, Perfect Dark.
Zero Mission specific.
Mission.
It's kind of more fun seeing the quietest noise you can make, though.
Yeah.
I know
It
that's
is.
Well,
No.
let's try. Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Let's fucking go! Yes!
Greatest announcement ever.
Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Good stuff.
Glad I fixed the
God,
audio.
that was fucking unbearable.
Nintendo Switch Lite Hyrule Edition.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Actually, I skipped, so that means I skipped The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Just Dance 2025 edition. Lego Horizon Adventures.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike. Remember the bit.
Oh, my bad.
Stray.
I mean,
Give me the year contender. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, God, that's right. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. Everyone look at Mike.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
Ace Attorney Investigations Collection.
Finally.
Let's go.
sure.
Oh, Miles Edgeworth. Oh, I like Miles Edgeworth is a good character, isn't
Edgy
he?
poo, baby.
Edging.
Edgy poo.
I
Edging.
turned my noise suppression back off, so I was very excited about Lego Horizon Adventures. The 100-line Last Defense Academy. What? I don't remember that one at all.
All right.
Not Danganronpa.
Right, okay, that helps. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven.
Yeah. Okay.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. All right, that was a good direct.
Wait, they added Beyond, right? Like Beyond.
They
is
added
new
Beyond.
now?
That is new.
Yeah, all the Prime sequels have a subtitle. You know, Echoes, Corruption. Now we have Beyond.
Beyond. What are we beyonding, you think?
Corruption.
That makes sense. You're
We're
right.
beyonding
So,
24 release
I
date is what we're
assume
beyonding.
multiple like galaxies and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
I
just more
wonder.
planets.
Because, I didn't necessarily love in Corruption the whole you have 3 planets you kind of go back and forth between. I guess I prefer just having the one big map
I do too.
right there.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I am very excited to see this. It's been a very long time since Metroid Prime, but I'm trying to keep it measured, my excitement, because we have an all-time classic in Metroid Prime 1. It's incredible. It's aged very, very well. Great to play now. 2, I didn't find the Dark World stuff and all that. I didn't love nearly as much. In fact, I don't even know if I finished Prime 2. And 3 was good. 3 was good. It had a lot of, kind of motion gimmicks with the Wii and everything, but it's a good game. So I think you have a classic. I think you have one that was disappointing, and I think you have a good game. And so I do wonder what that looks like, that Metroid Prime format so far removed from the last one.
Yeah,
So
I hope that they kind of do get that, because I think most people generally agree. Yeah, like 1 is this all time, and then 2 and 3 are good to very good games, but it's not quite on that level. So
That's right.
I hope that they're like, hey, yeah, we should probably lean more towards Metroid Prime 1. Obviously, and yeah, you got to do some things here and there, but I hope it's not something as gimmicky as like Light World, Dark World stuff. I don't really need that.
Right.
Or just leaning so heavily into the motion controls with Corruption, which was just not great. I didn't love that stuff.
Well, that's not how you play that game. You play that game on a computer with a mouse and keyboard now. That's the right way to do that.
I've never
one,
heard
so.
that sound.
This is why we're still in
great.
Nintendo, Joe Grub.
Awesome. Hey, we're never getting out.
No,
It's
it's
over.
not.
Yeah. No, it's not. But
True.
yeah, we're never getting out of there. So whatever. You were about to say something though, Sean. I think I interrupted you.
Yeah, I think I don't know what I want a new Metroid Prime to look like, really, because I think we've realized what doesn't quite work. Like, Echoes is a good game, but just Light World, Dark World never did much for me. The ammo limiting you in the puzzle solving you do was a bad idea. And then I get why Mike wouldn't like the like traveling between planets and stuff and preferring like a more just one large area with multiple layers. I get that. I do think, though, that the concept of maybe many planets that are like 50% of Talon 4 or something like that, like if that's, we don't know what they've been working on this whole time. If it's been a long time because they have been making a big game, that's very exciting to me. That's just speculation, but like if that's the case, then that's why it's called Beyond. That could be really cool.
Here's what I'm thinking for the game that where I'm gonna set my hopes. Like I'm with Dan about like let's set expectations maybe a little bit dialed down. But then if I talk about my hopes for the game and what it could be, I do start to get off the rails a little bit where I'm like, it doesn't need to be much bigger in scope in terms of like where the boundaries are than Metroid Prime 1. It needs to be a little bit bigger than that, but only because I want it to be more dense. I want there to be like more things going on in every part of the world. And it seemed like the trailer was suggesting some of that with the planet being at war and you stumbling across stuff. There was definitely like scripted moments of that in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, I believe, where it's like you would come across like some space pirates or whatever they'd be doing, whatever. But I wanted to feel more alive than that. And then I think if they can do that in certain sections, and then the rest of the sections is you like trying to like, get around this planet and get off or get off the planet or whatever, not like that.
Soundboard.
Soundboard, of course. I think that there's like a strong chance of like really recapturing what was special about Metroid Prime while touching on a few new ideas here and there. And that's kind of all I want from it.
So, all right, this is a question everyone's asking. What do you think this game is? It's 2025. Do you think this is still like a Switch 1 exclusive? Or do you think that this is coming to Switch 1 first and then Switch 2 when that launches?
I think it's coming to both.
Like,
I mean, I could do the Twilight Princess or Breath of the Wild.
It's going to straddle.
Straddler.
It's clearly a Switch 1 game. And like that's what they were saying here. That's what this one was.
Do you think that's what they were showing? Because it looks very good.
It looks very good.
I'd be very
but that's
happy if that was Switch 1.
I think that was what they showed was Switch 1. I think they would be playing with fire if they weren't doing that. But yeah, I think what happens here is like that was a game that was made for the Switch 1. It's a Switch 1 game. It comes out and the Switch 2 is right there. And this will be the first game that really shows off like what it makes, like how these games can go to the Switch 2 and take advantage of that. Yeah. It might be, they might position it as cross-gen. It clearly is going to take advantage of some Switch 2 stuff, though. It's not going to miss that boat entirely.
Yeah, what they showed today is exactly what I thought it would be. They like Metroid Prime Remastered, we've known for a long time is going to be the base, and at least allegedly, we've known for a long time, and that seems to be the case based on this trailer. Is a very good looking game. If you're looking super closely, you can see where they made some very smart cuts in terms of texture quality and everything.
And some
but
improvements to
together.
like the particle effects and stuff like that. Smoke in our first scene was very.
It's all
good.
coming together in a way that looks very, very good, and I'm sure it'll be 1080 or upscale to 1080, 60. Like that's just what again remastered was, and that's what I think they can achieve here too. And I've always thought that it's going to be cross-gen in some way, depending on what the Switch 2 looks like. Either it's going to be it's a Switch 1 game, like it always has been. It's always been that base, and then it just depends on how new versions of games are handled with the next system. Because if it could be a literal Twilight Princess situation where they just do two different SKUs if necessary, if that's what it takes to have a significantly better looking version. Or maybe they do upgrades, like maybe it's PS5 style where they release it for $60 on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's a $10 upgrade to a Switch 2 version that, has DLSS or whatever upscaling equivalent to make it look really nice on your 4K TV and a more stable frame rate. It all depends, but
it's
all
on the table, though. They have a lot of options about how they tackle that. But yes,
we also don't know how far apart they're releasing. Theoretically, Prime could be earlier in the year, and then the Switch could be later, or vice versa. So,
like 2025, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
we did
don't know
get
sure.
a 2025 date for. What was it in January? Was
Donkey Kong Country Return?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have dated other 2025 games. There's also other 2024 games that weren't dated.
Yeah.
So it's just a crapshoot.
You're right.
People were pointing out they like to do Metroid later in the year. If nothing else, it kind of like vibes with Halloween and like the winter season for a variety of reasons. So maybe Prime 4 is a October, November game, and then the Switch 2 comes out early in the year. And if that's the case, I think it's obvious that we'll have benefits in some way on Switch 2, even if it is just, they advertise as, hey, it's a Switch game, but it will run better on your new system that can also play these older games.
Yep.
I guess I'd be a little surprised if it comes out after the launch of the Switch 2 at this point, but it could. I don't know. It's something neat for me, and maybe Sean, Jeff, you kind of like understand this. I think sometimes as Metroid fans, we kind of get anxious about how does Nintendo see Metroid. So seeing it as like still like the big one last thing and being presented as this very big deal. This is the first time we've had, I love Metroid Dread, right? But there is something a little different when you are presenting like the big 3D first person Metroid, the first one of these we've gotten since Other M basically. And that's like, okay, yeah, here we go. Metroid is kind of sort of leading the charge here in terms of what is the biggest Nintendo game that we know about that's coming out. In a lot of ways, yeah, it is absolutely Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I'm happy that it can still fill that slot for them. It does seem like they understand what Metroid is and the appeal, and that and I think this served their goal with this direct, where it's like, let's keep the hardcore happy. Let's let them know that they have a lot of reasons to be invested in Nintendo stuff as we get ready to launch a new hardware, so that they're happy when that comes, and then they will be ready to spend their money on the new stuff as soon as it's here. So, yeah, I think that game does that for them.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that Mike put it as being anxious about how Nintendo feels about Metroid. I'm a beat down Metroid fan. I know they don't give a shit.
Yeah, we know the reality of it, really, yeah.
I think with something like this and, ending with Metroid, they're trying to get Metroid to stick because they know the fan fervor is there, and they are trying to figure out how to get that to translate to numbers. Because the Metroid games, I always try to remind people, it's one of my favorite gaming series, if not my favorite. And I will be the first to tell you, it's never sold well. It's never sold particularly great. It's in that Mega Man camp where, Mega Man is a legendary series in gaming, but it rarely sells over 1.5 million like per game. And, early on that was due to saturation. With Metroid, it's just never really taken off in the way that like we think about the series. I think them putting it at the end of the presentation as their one last thing is them acknowledging that, look, this was a direct for the hardcore audience, as we'll talk about with some of these other games. We know, we know. Let's try to make something happen with this one.
Yep, that sounds right. Mario and Luigi Brothership really surprised me.
Yes.
Came out of nowhere. We've had a lot of Mario RPG stuff in the last year, where we got the Super Mario RPG remake and then Thousand Year Door, and now we're getting this. This game comes out November 7th. It is a full new Mario and Luigi game. As Sean pointed out over in the talk over, they are going for that key art style where it's like it looked like if you opened the instruction manual for Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, those drawings, the way the characters looked in there, is exactly what they look like here. And I thought they did a pretty good job with it.
I mean, that's how they looked in all the other, 3DS and DS and GBA games, but it was 2D. Now it's actually like polygonal versions of that, which, I'm curious how that's going to look on the OLED. It looked good in the video, but man, I honestly, like, maybe I'm in the minority, but I've always thought the Mario and Luigi series is the superior Mario RPG
favorite
series.
Yes, Superstar Saga is still my favorite.
It was so much fun. The turn-based stuff was, great gimmicks with the going back and forth between the characters. I think, didn't that really kind of start like all the like dunking on Luigi stuff, or at least it was the first to go super hard on it?
There was some of that in some of the other ones, but they went really hard on it in Superstar Saga to the point where it's like, those are some of my favorite jokes Nintendo's ever written.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion is where that vibe kind of really started, and then in Superstar Saga, they're like, Luigi's
Green
kind of
Mario, come over here.
Fucking voice stuff, the gibberish voice stuff is so good in those games.
Spaghetti lasagna.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
And, I'm typically not a turn-based RPG guy, but man, every one of those games, Dream Team was a bit too long, a bit too slow, but man, the rest of them, I love that series, and I kind of expected to not see it again. Yeah, so I'm very excited to have a new one on the Switch.
Nintendo World Championships, they announced the survival mode, which is you race against your other players' ghost data. So it's kind of an asynchronous online mode. I think
it's
that's
like Trials Evolution.
Yeah, like Trials
that's
Evolution.
Cool.
Not a bad idea. And basically, it's like you got to just out-survive everyone else's times. So it is like a battle royale mode still. Neat. Everything they're showing about that game is really kind of what I want from them. It is confirmed, I believe, that this is basically the remnants of the NES Remix series. And it's like that game always needed a little bit extra. This feels like that extra. So very excited. We'll be playing that in about a month, I think. Exactly a month.
Let's hurt our hands playing that.
Oh, yeah. Yes. 100%. They got to damage them.
This is just our new Astros player.
Oh, yes. And then we'll be ready
until
for
Astro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, once again, for Jan, Hello Kitty Island Adventure coming to the Switch. That's something he was really having a good time with, and I've been waiting to play it. I'll play it on Switch with the kids. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I was with you guys. I think some of you guys said that you like that better than Tropical Freeze. I agree.
I think it's one of the most underrated platformers of the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's really, really
20
good.
Even, it's incredible.
I will say it doesn't seem like they're doing much here, right? Like they didn't talk about here's the new thing here. They are porting that game over.
The new thing was the new 3DS levels. It's like the levels we made for the 3DS version. Yes, exactly.
Right.
It's just HD.
And I can tell that this is the next one that people are kind of going to dunk on, because this is probably going to be $60, and people are going to be, they're charging us $60 for a 3DS game. And it's like, well, all right, don't buy it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to have fun with it.
I'm glad it's here. I don't know if I ever actually quite beat this one, so I'll probably play through all of it.
100%ed the shit out of it. Every Kong letter, every secret, super hard level, like obsessed with this game.
Immaculate video game.
Again, it's funny because I thought most of the announcements were going to be of this caliber. And one, not that many of them, and then two, not the games I was expecting, right? Like Donkey Kong Country Returns 1 was not on my radar. Yeah,
it's a good point. You would have expected more of this, because that's like what it seems like they've sort of been padding out the end of the Switch with.
Mm-hmm. We still need a new Donkey Kong game. It is weird that is probably going to be like one of the franchises on Switch that just did not get a new entry ever. And we kind of know why, that there were some false starts there, even with like Vicarious Visions and things like that.
Right, yeah. Early on in the Switch's life. Yeah. I mean, we know they are looking at doing a Donkey Kong movie. The Donkey Kong roller coaster is the next big thing at the parks. They're clearly invested in it, so they'll probably do more with Donkey Kong on Switch too. So yeah, weird it didn't hit the Switch though. Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, as well as 1 and 2 remakes, confirmed to be getting the same exact treatment. Looked really great.
It looks super sharp. Dragon Quest III is such a fantastic game. Again, I played it a few years ago. Like the version that's on Switch now is based off the mobile version, so it looks ugly, but it is still super fun. And then this version looks beautiful. I generally always like the HD 2D thing, but are definitely kind of like, there are tiers of it, and I think they really nailed in the look of maybe not kind of overdoing it with some of the fancy lighting and whatnot, where it just looks really pleasant. And then like the battle sprites are more detailed in a way that looks really neat. I never played Dragon Quest 1 or 2. It's something that's been on my radar just as a curiosity. So this is going to be a fun way to do that. am super glad we're getting this. This was one that had disappeared for a long time. So seeing it again and knowing that I'm going to be able to check this one out soon makes me very, very happy. If you have any kind of affinity for old school JRPGs, I think you should check this one out.
This is the one, like, people have been talking about Dragon Quest just colloquially now for a little while now. People are kind of just saying, like, hey, remember Dragon Quest? Yeah, that series is good. And I don't know, it's kind of just been doing the rounds on social media and stuff. And I keep saying to myself, I want to go back and play 3 because people keep bringing up, like, you need to go back and play 3. 3 is actually underrated, even, yes, as an NES game, play an updated version or whatever. And I've just been holding off for this because HD2D is the best way to play that. I hate they never got too much time into it, but the Star Ocean remake that came out last year,
that
I was
was
very
great.
digging that. Yeah, before a million things took up my time. I keep meaning to go back to that. But yeah, I like that sort of slightly reined in HD 2D that they're doing now. And the fact that, 1 and 2 are getting that treatment now, that is so cool to just get that trilogy, because there's a trilogy of games essentially, all looking like that, looking great, and just being more accessible than ever.
And I hope they keep going, because 4 was also an NES game that's kind of the start of a trilogy with the 2 16-bit ones, and 5 is especially a very good one. So I kind of hope they get to all 6 of those eventually.
Let's see here. The new Dimpa Men. Yeah.
I just searched the eShop. It is not on there. That was not a today thing, was it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's coming out. It says July 27th on Nintendo Switch.
I'm curious what the hell that is. It made me think of Tamagotchi Life, which I've been thinking about recently. And
I thought it was Tamagotchi Life for about a half a second there, and then realized it wasn't. And then was like, this also looks pretty interesting. Who makes the Dimpa Men? Was that
Genius Sonority?
Genius Sonority is on this one at the very
God,
least.
of course.
Fair enough.
They made the original too.
Yes.
You know what Team Genius Sonority is?
No.
Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD on the GameCube.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, those are good for their mini games, right? People like the mini games in there?
No. Those were
you're thinking
Stadium on the 64.
That's Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
these
GameCube
the
games
that
are
have
the
single
ones.
player.
The GameCube ones are the ones that were full-on RPGs before Game Freak would end up doing it like 15 years later.
Right.
Just like 3D RPGs on console,
So
This team also did Disney Fairies, Tinkerbell in 2008.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Polygon describes it as, and that's where I grabbed this news from, Animal Crossing with mini games. So we'll see.
Okay.
That sounds good to me. Yes.
Yeah.
There was a Nintendo Switch Online. Actually, real quick, Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. What is that?
It's a tower defense, like a 2D tower defense.
Something like
is what the
mobile
Steam
game.
page said.
It looks like it has gacha elements. Like people in the chat earlier were saying that, they played it on mobile years ago. So it's just getting a port to Switch because, sometimes they do that. Sometimes they port mobile games over to the Switch because the handheld form factor makes a lot of sense. And I don't know.
That was a Star Wars Zynga game just came out. I haven't played that yet, but it's on mobile and Switch. Nintendo Switch Online update, Link to the Past, Four Swords, Metroid Zero Mission, Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and Perfect Dark. It's nice that the higher tier Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack got some love. That was nice to see.
Right. And Link to the Past Game Boy Advance, you want that for Four Swords. There's no reason to play the Game Boy Advance version of Link to the Past if you have NSO and you can play the SNES version.
There's some weird things where it's like they do things like the boomerang can cut through bushes and stuff like that. Very minor weird things they've changed about Link to the Past, but unless you've just played the game a million times, you won't even notice or care, and the Super Nintendo one looks better, so just go with that. But we should try Four Swords, the GBA version.
Okay.
I would do that.
We'll do that.
Update available, getting it now.
All right, fair enough. Let's see here. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Let's fucking go.
Plus the Punisher.
Plus the Punisher.
Oh, this was
the arcade classics.
This was more surprising me than Metroid Prime 4. I didn't think we were going to get this. What's so cool about this is they really could have just done Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's what most people want. Yeah. Everybody would have been very excited for that. The fact that they are adding the 5 previous Versus games that lead up to it that are all also very good 2D fighting games, and they all play differently. And then the fact that they also threw in the Punisher, this awesome beat 'em up.
They didn't need to do that.
They didn't need to do it, and they did it. It's super exciting. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is just one of my favorite games. It was a fighting game I played a ton of on the Dreamcast constantly with my brothers, just going through arcade mode over and over again because you had to unlock everything in that version. So I was just farming points so I can unlock all these weird characters. Just that roster size back then blew my mind. It's such
huge.
a wild and wacky and fun and hype fighting game. The fact that it's going to be able to be playable on modern platforms and everyone's going to have that moment again with this thing. It's super exciting to me.
Yeah, this is literal dream come true material right here. Like, never in a million years would I put a Marvel versus Capcom collection on my bingo cards specifically.
No.
Like Mike said, we were thinking for a long time now. Marvel 2, that makes a lot of sense to bring back. They did the 1-up or arcade 1-up machine not too long ago, and they've done some other stuff with that. So they've been gauging interest in everything. But just to have this product exist is legitimately a historic moment for fighting games. I know that might seem like a wild thing to say, but it's just, no, we never thought this would come back. We never thought the relationship would be refounded and everything like that. We never thought that we would have a package like this, because it's been 12 years, I believe, since the last official release of MVC2 on 360 and PS3.
Right. And Infinite was a bust.
Yeah, people did not like Infinite for a variety of reasons, which is, very fair. That game was in a very rough state. By the way, shouts to Maximilian bringing that back with a modding team. That's very cool.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is very cool. I looked at a bunch of the features on the website, and it's the stuff you would expect. Like, it is going to have online lobbies, it is going to have their rollback netcode that they put into the Capcom Fighting Collection before this, that Darkstalkers and some Street Fighter and stuff. Also other stuff like the art gallery is going to be fantastic, like it always has been, but even stuff you might not expect, like custom mappings for super moves. So sort of a modern controls type thing going on there, where those games, they have simpler controls to remember overall back in the day, but the fact that you can now just one button map supers, that's going to be good to get people in who don't really remember how to play a game, who don't want to learn how complicated old fighting games can be. They're just making these games more accessible than ever, and that's really, really cool. I think Capcom is on a roll here with listening to what the community wants, because I have to imagine back when like Max and some people were doing the hashtag free MVC2 campaign, like people at Capcom were like, all right, they're riled up, let's see what we can do about this one. And then this is the end product, and it looks fantastic. It's exactly what we want. And yeah, Grub's got the key art pulled up there, but the classic Cyclops and Ryu doing a handshake.
Yeah, they're doing a handshake, and now they're doing the Predator, like the handshake. We got two of those in this direct.
We got Donkey Kong and Bowser.
Yeah,
this new key art is so freaking good. This is I had to make this my desktop background. I had to change that for the first time in like 5 years for this. I just like seeing Mega Man and Iron Man squared off. God.
Yeah, and so even the small stuff like Spider-Man and Morrigan, because they have this whole thing that they wrote into the old games in the arcade and everything. Just the attention to detail. It's super
exciting, and it is like, I want, if it is just this, I'll be excited. But it is like okay, is something else happening? I don't know if new Marvel vs. Capcom, but Street Fighter 6 did rip the Band-Aid, and they have guest fighters now. Like maybe season 3, you get a Wolverine or something like that. It's not impossible now.
Yeah, just so many doors are open now because of this announcement, and that's part of why we're all popping off so much, is the fact that we could maybe Marvel versus Capcom 5 does happen in the future. Like, this opens the possibility.
It feels closer than ever. Cool. You don't think we get to EVO and they announce it though, do you?
No, I think the reason that they announced it here is, first of all, Nintendo, a lot of eyes on it, but then also maybe this is playable at EVO, or maybe even just we get the release date there or something. But
why do you think they left Xbox off of the release? Because it's coming to PlayStation and PC. I know. I mean, I thought we were maybe getting a little bit over that. We're going to exclude Xbox randomly.
Fighting games and Xbox don't. Yeah. I mean, it's just not a lot happening there. That's just the reality. PlayStation bought EVO.
Yeah, the people playing at home play on their PC. If you're really hardcore. For tournaments, we need PlayStation, and then Switch has the benefit of, you can practice portably anywhere you go. It's one of those things where, what is Xbox bringing to the table? They're bringing a smaller player base than PlayStation and PC. So what's the benefit to that to them? And they don't see it as being very high. We saw that with the most recent Ace Attorney collection before the one that got announced in this direct. I also didn't come to Xbox, and that's just Capcom's reason.
I hate to be the annoying fan who now is immediately asking for the next thing after getting his impossible wish come true, but I hope
never
Capcom versus SNK 2 is going to be in one of these collections someday too. That's kind of the other big one now.
Yeah,
that
do
I
a
really
CVS
wanna play.
twin pack for like $30 or something. Why not?
There you go. Get that. Wasn't there an SNK versus Capcom one that's weird or something too? And
Oh yeah, SNK versus Capcom is different than CVS. SNK
yeah, you can throw that in there, I guess.
Chaos.
Why not?
Could Tatsunoko versus Capcom get in there too? Maybe.
Yeah. Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Yeah, like
forget
that's a
about that one.
whole other licensing issue.
Oh yeah, it's a
and
whole
that
other licensing thing. Yeah.
That was a Wii era game, so that would also probably be its own HD re-release for like $15-20. But that would be
makes
cool
sense.
too.
All right, let's wrap up. Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Yep.
That okay. Do we know if there was a 20-player mode in there? Do we know if we'll be able to do private lobbies? Because it's like, is there a chance it's just matchmaking?
They have gotten better about that. A lot of their recent games, even first-party things, even recent Mario parties have had private
Superstars
lobbies
has
that you can do.
fantastic online.
Yeah. So actually, I am optimistic that there will be a way if we just want to get a bunch of friends together or play with the audience, things like that. Like, I think that'll be great. I just hope the 20-player mode isn't like. I hope you can do like a full game with 20 players. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like a more kind of streamlined thing. I need to watch the trailer again to see how they kind of like message that, because they weren't like, hey, play 20-player Mario Party. It was like, now a new 20-player mode. So maybe it's like, honestly, think about it. Like, you're not all going to be rolling dice. You know, it takes long enough with 4 people. So I would imagine it's something more like what they tried to do with 9 and 10, where it's like everybody's in a car and we're all going around the board together.
Kind
you know,
of Fall Guys is what it looked like a little bit. So I'm
not going to work myself up too much to think that like, oh, there's going to be full, Mario Party parties with 20 people. But like, it's definitely something we should try, whatever the fuck that 20-player mode is.
Agreed.
I thought I saw them specifically say like first to finish 5 laps. So I think it actually is like some kind of race around the board or something.
Yeah,
like
with mini games, and it would have to be specific mini games because like they're all for 4 players. Yeah,
just
so
20 people on balls on that like that
bumper
ice
balls?
thing.
Bumper balls, yeah.
Oh my god.
20-person hot rope jump. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
That should just be its own game on the eShop.
Yes.
20-person.
Yeah.
Remember during the pandemic when they just put out that jump rope game where you put the Joy-Cons on your side and you just jump and you're
jump
rabbit?
rope challenge or something. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
Me too. Then The Legend of Link: Echoes of Wisdom. You play as Zelda this time, huh? This was another massive surprise. I think I was like really hopeful that something like this would happen. I kind of agreed with everyone else that we'd get some like ports of those remasters from the Wii U, or maybe remakes of the Oracle games, some of the Capcom games. This is my kind of like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted. So I thought it looked very good. How about you all?
It's not at all what I expected. Like you said, I think if they were going to do a Zelda thing, I would think Wind Waker and Twilight Princess would be the most likely, and then like something like a Link Between Worlds would be next. This was not at all something I was even considering, which is why, like, when it started, and it was like, wait, that's the Ganon design from Link to the Past, but this isn't Link, and it looks like that Link's Awakening remake, but what the hell, what are we looking at here? And then once you realize you're playing as Zelda, it's like, whoa, this is something totally new. That gimmick seems awesome, of copying things, enemies, rocks, beds, and making little puzzles out of it. Like, I hope it is the thing where it is not very prescribed solutions, like, oh, for this thing in this dungeon, you need to have this rock or this bed. I hope you can kind of just fuck around and do some weird emergent stuff with what you have. Yeah, so we'll see. I didn't see a lot of evidence of like, I don't think it's gonna be like a physicsy type thing, but like hopefully it allows room for some like unique solutions.
Yeah.
As somebody who really liked the kind of handheld lineage of Zelda games, and I was a little worried like maybe that was something we were going to completely lose with the Switch. We had the remake of Link's Awakening. I was glad to get that for sure. I am glad that it's like, hey, that was maybe kind of like almost training in a way. Now we have this team. We can use that kind of engine and even that art style, and we can do something new with it. And I'm glad even that something new isn't just a game that plays exactly like Link's Awakening with some new dungeons. It's like, let's make Zelda the character. Let's have some new mechanics in here. This was a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I'm excited because for me, I've always preferred 2D Zelda over 3D Zelda. I like 2D Zelda and I like the open world Zeldas because I feel like those sort of have a connection there. And man, getting a new one of these that's sort of in the lineage of specifically a Link Between Worlds and Link's Awakening remake, I think is very exciting. I love, like Dan was talking about, the emergent gameplay that's going to come out of, well, you could go around this path, but then as we saw in the trailer, but what if you just clone water and then just swim up floating water to get to the next area. Like the possibilities are instantly like going through my head. Okay, if it's grid based and everything, it's not going to be completely wild.
You know what it looks like? You know what this game looks like? It looks like they were making a Zelda maker, and they're like, it's actually kind of more fun just to be a character using all those tools.
You might be onto something.
Interesting.
I bet there's something there.
Because they did that in, what was the game that had Dungeon Maker? Was that Link's Awakening remake?
It was
Link's Awakening remake.
It was very half-baked.
Yeah, it was very odd. Maybe like they were doing something more with that, and then you're right, this is what it turned into.
Yep.
Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. No one cares about that, right?
Oh, you shut your mouth.
You just shut the hell up.
This is great because, I mean, once we got Great Ace Attorney, which brought over 2 games that weren't localized here before.
I thought you said Gradius Attorney.
No, that'd be fun too, though, actually. No, this was like, we got this first Miles Edgeworth game on the DS, and it was great, and they made a sequel, and they just didn't localize that one, and it was really upsetting at the time. Until today, it was the last Phoenix Wright game that we never got over here. Well, now it's here. Now, all of these games are on Switch. It's such a fantastic series, one that I hold pretty near and near. I got my big objection pillow thing back over there. This is great. Capcom seems to really be uplifting Ace Attorney recently. They're kind of treating it as a core franchise. Obviously not like a Resident Evil or something like that, but something that is very much a permanent member of that Capcom stable. I bet we are going to get a new game announced probably next year, but in the meantime, super happy we are finally getting this one.
Same. I'm with Mike. I'm a big Ace Attorney guy. I played all the games. I love them. I think the first couple I actually played twice now, which I usually don't do with visual novels, but they are that good. And this is just another like small thing for us nerds, but it is another historic moment because just, they are bringing over a game that's never been localized. They did that already with a, Great Ace Attorney, but see it happen again. The games are looking better than ever. We have the classic pixel art mode if you don't like the redrawn HD stuff. It's all very cool. And again, it's just another case of Capcom listening to the fans and saying, oh, y'all want this? Cool. Yeah, we'll bring it over. We'll make it official. There has been a very good fan patch for Edgeworth 2 for a while now, but just to have it very accessible for the people who don't want to mess around with any of that stuff, that's awesome. That's great. Always love seeing that.
It'd be like if the Earthbound fans actually got Mother 3.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
All right, we talked about Metroid Prime, so those are all the big games we're going to talk about. Let's move on with the news here. Overall, though, great direct. I'm really
very
glad.
Good.
I had a very good time watching that. They kind of nailed it. Gears of War E-Day could be released in 2025. It has been claimed. Gears of War E-Day, an origin story depicting the Locust invasion on Emergence Day, featuring younger versions of Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago, is reportedly targeting a 2025 release, though this has not been officially confirmed by Microsoft. I will say that I heard the same thing going into the show, and that they were going to say the date, and then as we got closer to the show, it was like, now they're thinking it could slip into 2026, so they're removing the date from the announcement, is kind of how it was phrased to me. So it could still come out in 2025, but they didn't give a date for. They did not give it a date for a reason. I think it probably is coming in 2026 instead. They have a lot coming in 2025 already, so it's not like they need to rush this out. And Gears of War feels like it's in a position. A lot of people seem very excited about this. If they get it right, it feels like it could be a fresh start for Gears of War in a lot of ways. Is that a good read? I don't know. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I mean, as a lapsed Gears fan, like seeing this does get me excited. I kind of feel bad for the people who do like the newer games because I do see some griping there that I think maybe is justified. Like, hey, we had another story going on that seems like
they claim they're not going to abandon it, but people say a lot of things.
People say they're not going to abandon it, but if you're going to do something else for one game, well, games take forever to make now, so you are putting on the sideline for a decade.
The novels.
Right.
Yeah, put it in a book.
Comic. Yeah,
I don't know. I put the storyline in the same category as like Halo, where I'm just like, it's just not interesting.
Yeah,
not important.
I hate to be like.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Backler.
No, it doesn't register on the important scale. Grub got it. It's like, what do you want me to do? I can't make it interesting for you people.
Yep.
It's just not. Holes in the ground.
I hate to be an old nostalgic guy, but it's like, oh, I recognize these characters, and they're playing Mad World. Yay!
Mad World is the most interesting part of media around Gears of War.
They to be fair, they earned that bringing back that Mad World because it's like they're the ones that started that. So I was kind of like, yeah, hell yeah,
sure. Sure.
No, that moment totally worked for me.
That's the Gary Jules version that they like sad bastery. Yeah.
Like they invented sad bastery, at least
they did.
in
Gary Jules
trailers.
did.
Yes.
By himself.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, couple of Bethesda stories here. Bethesda says they won't rush Fallout 5. Todd Howard did an interview where he basically said, like, yeah, we get it, but Fallout 76 and Fallout 4, they're all doing very well, and we're happy with that, and we're not going to rush Fallout 5. How do you guys read that?
I mean, I don't think there is an option to rush it, even if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Well, the option would be like not
mean?
doing Elder Scrolls 6, right? And that they can't do that.
And I know he said, like, oh, it would be okay if somebody else made a Fallout game, maybe. We wouldn't mind if Obsidian did it. I'm not saying I don't believe them. I think they would much, much rather prefer, and they would do what they can to make sure that they are the people who make the next main new Fallout game.
I think that's how it'd be positioned, right? The next one that's called Fallout 5 would still be Bethesda no matter what. What were you going to say, Sean?
I don't have any info on this myself. I've like heard from people who've heard from people like on other podcasts who they are reporting that there's like still sort of like the bad blood there between Bethesda, at least like execs maybe, and Obsidian of like people like, your Fallout better. Maybe we don't want you making a new one and outshining us. There still seems
just
to be
make your Fallout games more RPG. Those fans just want that stuff so bad.
Yeah.
So oh well.
Yeah.
Bethesda says it's also targeting annual story expansions for Starfield. Yeah, I get it. My worry is like when I looked at No Man's Sky, and it's like that's a team that felt an obligation, a moral responsibility to do right by all these people that bought their game, and then they put out free expansions for the next infinity years. And I don't necessarily believe that Bethesda would be able to like replicate that and have that same energy behind it. But maybe, I don't know.
I mean, let's see what happens with this first expansion. I will say, like, I maybe I'm misunderstanding, but it seems like the expansion is like, here's one like dense planet where there's going to be a bunch of quests and stuff, which sounds more like what I kind of want from a Bethesda game.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Right. Like, so, maybe that's going to really hit something for me. And then that's a formula you can very easily just translate to other expansions on other planets. And every once in a while you can do like more of like a shipbuilding kind of like thing here and there also. Let's see what this first expansion looks like. I know I've, said my feelings on Starfield a lot, but I don't want to completely give up on it. I'm curious to see what they do with this.
Happy for Greg Miller.
Yeah. There he gets his game. Yep, more of his game. A second Uncharted movie is officially in the works. Everyone's clamoring for this, right?
That first movie is fine.
I've never even heard anyone say it's fine.
It's fine.
That's what's crazy.
I've never heard anyone say anything about it.
That's where I'm at. No one talks about it.
It's okay.
As the expert in the room, Mike, how are you feeling about this?
Oh, I mean, like, look, to be clear, even I may not bother seeing the second one, but like, whatever. I mean,
so you're saying they should reward mediocrity, is what you're saying?
Well, have you seen Hollywood?
Heyo.
It is upsetting because I feel like it should have been more of a home run, right? But it's also this thing where, movies are mid, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have Uncharted. I'd rather play the games anyways. If you want to make the movies, and this is the one way you can still kind of keep that franchise at least a bit alive out there, then fine. I hope we get something else with Uncharted in the game space someday again.
Yeah, I would play Uncharted. I would play an Uncharted 5. Hell yeah.
That's whatever you want to do.
Because I wasn't super into Uncharted before, but I really enjoyed Uncharted 4. I'm like, if they put out another one that was kind of in the same vibes, I would be very excited.
Yeah, maybe you don't need to do like a whole nother their boyfriend and girlfriend are fighting again thing, but otherwise,
how many people does Nathan murk in the movie?
Most of them.
Not nearly as many as in the game.
Damn it,
we're watching that Hitman movie tonight. Am I going to like that? I don't know anything about it.
I think you will. Yeah. Listen, I think it's a crowd pleaser. I think most people come out of it being like, that was a good time.
Okay. I saw you and Rory putting it over, and I was like, okay, I should check it out.
it really hit home because I was like considering like the moral implications of what the story was doing, and then it does this like cool turn where I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that's what was happening here, and it's like it's just they do a really good job with like those tricks there at the very end. But even if you're not like on that wavelength, I think you'll still enjoy it. It's just a good time.
Cool.
Let's see here. It looks like the original Resident Evil could be re-released for PC. Capcom is poised to re-release the original 1996 version of Resident Evil on modern platforms. A PEGI rating indicates the game's clearance for release on PC. That PEGI rating came in this week. It's like there's this sentence suggests it might come to PC this week. I don't know if that's happening. The original Resident Evil is not widely available for purchase in modern storefronts. On PlayStation, the remixed director's cut version is accessible via the PlayStation Plus Classics library. Capcom has released 3 successful Resident Evil remakes in the past 5 years and intends to release more.
I hadn't heard
This
of
would be
this
great.
one.
There's value in that for sure. Like I obviously the remake, it was one of the best remakes of all time. But the first one, I mean, when I think of the first Resident Evil, I get nostalgic for this version, and I think I would like to have
Mike
access to
Mike
this on my
played
Steam
like
Deck.
both of them back to back, and I think he says it's like all of these Resident Evil games, the originals and the remakes all have value of their own for playing, and I think that's right.
Like I played like that HD version of the remake you can play on Steam right now, and it's fantastic. And then like I was just like started like playing like the PS1 version just to see like some of the differences. I'm like, this is still also very good. And like, of course, it's it's that same kind of game, but there are a lot of differences. There are whole sections that are completely different or just missing, and it was still a ton of fun just playing it through that way. So yeah, I'd be super happy to have the original on Steam also.
Oh yeah, and I was trying to figure out like why would people assume that it's the original and not remake. It's because the PEGI listing explicitly says it is PC port of the original Resident Evil game, parentheses 1996. Okay, which that's interesting because that's never been readily available, at least a Western PC version.
Right, so like Final Fantasy 7 or Tomb Raider where they had these early PC ports, right?
Yeah, like the OG or like the original trilogy of like they've all been on PC in some capacity, but I think like the original trilogy was Japan only for what people consider the good PC versions. Those are actually what people use to play randomizers nowadays. Is they mod the old Japanese PC versions. So it's interesting to see them just re-releasing this raw game, probably I don't know, like $10 I'd assume it would be, and just putting it out there because that's people have actually kind of been asking that for a while now. So I don't. Again, I'm trying to remind people like not everyone wants to do emulation, so like this would just make it easier for those people.
It does seem like we are getting through the big summer announcements without a new Resident Evil announced, which is maybe just a smidge of a bummer.
Yeah, we did get prepped. Like, was it Dark Golem Aesthetic Game or whatever that is, the one that has all the Capcom leaks?
Dusk Golem,
thank you. Was like, we're probably not going to hear about that now. Resident Evil 9's moving a little bit later into next year. I guess originally it was supposed to come out early next year, but they were going so fast, so frequently with those games. They were bound to hit a time where it's like, we need a little bit of extra time. And I think they've earned it.
That's fine. Especially, like, I don't know if it's true, but it does seem like Code Veronica is more likely than 5 or even 1 for another remake at this point, which is the one that I would be most interested in. So I'm going to be patient. I bet I'll be happy.
And then finally, Mike, I'll need your help with this. Warcraft's general manager has left Blizzard after 12 years. John Haidt, who is a general manager and senior vice president, is leaving Blizzard. I believe they said where they were going, but I didn't write it down here. Either way, how are you feeling about World of Warcraft? And is it in a good place? I think you have been saying that recently. Is it still in a good place?
I think World of Warcraft is, it is in a good place. Chris Metzen come back, who's kind of, I think, the big face of World of Warcraft again, and Ian, who's kind of been in charge of like the gameplay side of things, is still over there. The War Within is launching in August or later this year. Everybody seems pretty excited about it. I'm not too concerned about the future of World of Warcraft. Not to diminish any person's contributions or anything like that, but I just think the game is in a very good place right now.
And that does it for the news. I'm handing this show back over to you, Mr. Jeff Bakalar.
Very good. It's heavy. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It put on some weight.
Yeah, it was a full one.
So those Steam Next Fest demos.
Yeah.
I guess so. Too many gigabytes up in this. We are going to take one last break. On the other side, we will get to your very special emails. Stick around. Oh, hey, it's the Bombcast. What do you got? What do you got, Dan? What are you doing?
Look how this is so funny to me for some reason.
He's opening the N64 Mature Edition.
Wow.
This is my mature Nintendo 64. You're the most mature of gaming consoles.
Lexi did send me a link to a website where they're going to print that out for me, but it's only big enough for a hat, so maybe I'll capture that one and make the whole shirt red with just that mature logo on the bottom.
It's just weird. We're just bullies, huh?
Who are we bullying, Bacalar?
I think we're bullying Nintendo and their
I think we're bullying the
sensitivity.
ESRB.
I love it personally. I genuinely think it's dope.
Me too.
I do
like
feel like
it.
there should be like maybe a time frame. Like, do we really think that like you need to be 17 years old to be ready for how intense Perfect Dark is in 2024?
Maybe Conquer, if Conquer comes around. Maybe
Sure.
actually Conquer.
That would be interesting if they ever put that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, why would they do that?
There's some Conquer freaks out there.
Probably, yeah, I know. Probably not going to happen, but what is happening is emails.
Dun, 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 dun. These are the emails for the show.
Sean, these
Emails.
will not be on my track. Those audio cues will not be on my audio track.
Okay. I was like, the emails only? Okay, yeah. I can put the audio.
Also the
That's
emails.
cool,
I'm shutting it down. Yeah, there we go.
It's so fucking hot today.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, when you look outside and you can just see like the weird, like, you know, that illusion, the
Mirage?
shimmering.
like the
Yeah.
shimmer is
Yeah.
coming. Not even fucking first day of summer yet. What an
I'm under a
excellent thing we've
tornado
done.
watch. I'm under
Oh, yeah?
tornadoes
Man.
coming through
Oh,
town. Yeah.
damn.
I'm in my
Whoa.
basement. It's nice down here. I gotta say, it is
It's a
really
good
have a
place.
basement.
Right.
it's
Like,
a
I don't
nightmare
think-
out there.
I don't know what I would do if there's a tornado. It's not really a basement I'm in.
Your
Well, you go to
basement
the
is underground
yeah,
enough, Dan. I know you have a walkout basement, but it's
But if I
underground
walked
enough.
out this door, I would fall like 30 feet.
Aren't you? Well, no one's
that's
telling you
right.
to walk out a door,
Right?
but we're
That's dumb, Dan.
Aren't you supposed to like go to the centermost part of your house?
Yeah,
where there's
you
You
no
go to the
away from
basement away
windows.
from windows, this tornado.
Yeah.
Maybe in
a
your case,
bathroom.
you go to the part of the house that's closest to the cliff that it's built on.
Yeah, or maybe you should fly a kite and see
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
You're not from Kansas, are you?
No,
That's how you
What-
get
how
Wizard
could
of
you
Oz. You don't get
Yeah,
Wizard of Oz.
That's
true.
true. Wizard of Oz.
I would be up for getting Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Man,
against it.
Okay.
You would
mean,
be
like,
a great candidate for that.
Sucked up and away from your home.
I'd like to yes and. Yeah.
Wait, Mike, what do you think that looks like?
I usually don't do requests, but if Pickle Giraffe can please put you in some ruby slippers right now, I would love that. Thank you.
Sure, opening the
mean,
door. Yeah.
You'd
Becca,
be very
we still hear
confused,
you.
but also very game for everything. And
Oh,
you
I'd be
make a
up
lot
for
of
it.
weird friends, and you would actually like establish pretty close connections with them. There'd be peril, but you'd overcome it. It'd be a great time.
I'd be there,
The
I'd be the
music
king.
probably wouldn't happen, but everything else.
Sure.
Sorry, something's going on. I guess with my internet or something. I dropped out for a second.
Oh, okay. Oh, you lost us. Okay, we heard you.
yeah. Oh, weird. Okay, then maybe it was.
I heard you go.
something else.
Uh-oh. And
Yeah,
I was like,
that was a legit uh-oh.
Okay.
Who are we saying Dan would be someone recognizable from Wizard of Oz?
Dorothy.
Like,
No, he would just be good in that role. of a
If I got
hero.
Dorothy'd,
if he
my
was
house
just
took
walking
off,
around,
then-
he would be the one most likely to get Dorothy'd. Yes.
and just like,
and I would handle it
sucked up.
well. I think I would
Yeah,
handle it
You
well.
get isekai'd.
What
I
do you
would
mean
make-
handle it
make
well?
friends.
You'd
I
fucking
would-
die. What do
I'd
you
make
mean?
a bunch of friends. I'd be the king. It'd be fine.
All of Wizard of Oz, isn't she just like hallucinating the whole time because she's on cocaine?
It's a
or
dream.
something?
It was a dream.
No,
Yeah,
that
she
was the actual
She's on,
actress.
because she's like, oh, okay.
It's all
Yeah,
the
she woke
offers
up
they
and the
gave her.
Tin Man,
Not
was just a
cocaine.
dude in her house. Yeah, it
Not
was like-
cocaine, just like a bunch of psychedelics, right?
no, she got
Popping.
like knocked out in a tornado.
Right. She
and
has
she woke up.
CTE.
Yes, and she dreamt that all these people she
And
knew
you
from
were
the
there.
farm
And you were there.
Yeah,
She dreamt this thing called color.
Right. Yes.
That's
right.
that's
True.
confusing.
That's when color was
Yeah.
invented.
Man.
Well, yeah.
It's a good trick. I like that.
Man, that movie's coming up on 100 years, right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
15
yep.
years. It's about 85 years now, right?
You know that movie was made because of the popularity of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's a true story.
Interesting.
Everyone like that was a must watch growing up in Kansas and everything. Like everyone always talked about it. But then like
This is the
also,
only movie that references us. Yes, go ahead.
well, Twister was also one of them. Basically,
Sure.
tornado
Put
themed
Kansas
movies.
on the map.
But then you also are doomed forever to like whenever you show your Kansas ID at the airport, or not in Kansas anymore, like a billion times.
Yeah.
People
But,
still making that fucking reference?
Oh, sure.
Well, I mean, I haven't had a Kansas ID in 15
Oh,
years.
right.
I
Yeah,
show
sure,
my
sure.
ID and they say I have Skibbity Ohio Riz, and then I just walk away.
dude.
So
Honestly, every now and then, though, like, look, I realize we are all collectively like eye rolling at the way anyone under 20 speaks now, but there's an occasional Ohio punchline where you're just like, oh man, that's pretty good. There's
I encourage it. Yeah, you all keep making your jokes. Just don't move here, and we're gonna continue to enjoy our affordable housing. It's gonna be great.
No. It's not at the mercy. It's not like Ohio's not victimized in this. It's just this sort of.
I mean,
like, you know,
aren't they supposed to be an
punchline.
analog for like lame in that? I would say it's
I think it's just like
degrading
pretty
to Ohio.
it seems like the joke is just like Ohio doesn't really matter, so like you can just do
that's
that.
not mean. They're just spitting facts. There's like
I
mean
feel like,
spirited
I mean,
about
at
that.
least you get jokes made about that. Like Kansas, the only thing you ever hear is, oh, flyover state. Nothing happens there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
totally.
People don't
Just-
even think about Kansas
Exactly.
enough to make a slang term based
what
on
is
it.
the
you know?
state you guys think about the least? I think mine is Arkansas.
Yeah, like Alabama. Oh, no,
I don't know if I
Alabama.
can name that.
Nebraska's up there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
liked driving through Nebraska when we went to Mount Rushmore, so I enjoy Nebraska enough for that.
I think West Virginia for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think about West Virginia.
Because of the song.
The song, there's the song.
And
Yeah.
I think
Fallout
about West
76.
Virginia.
Come on, a cultural touchdown.
What about
South Carolina.
Yeah.
I have family
There's
there. So for me,
beaches.
I think
Yeah, I've been to
about-
the
think-
beaches in South Carolina a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're pretty
I'm pretty
nice.
close to West Virginia, so I go there sometime.
I'd
You
say
know
maybe like Maine. Like
No, come on.
Maine.
Well, you're
King.
over there
But
generally.
Maine is like
so.
Well, look,
in
I
a
was
lot
just
of
about
like
to say-
food stuffs, right? It's like Maine lobster.
Maine
like,
lobster,
yeah.
baby. I was about to say New Hampshire. No
We get
one
a lot
ever
of Maine
fucking talks
lobster
about New
here in
Hampshire.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
New Hampshire's
fair
rough.
enough.
New Hampshire
No
and
one-
Vermont are a little rough up there. Yeah.
North Dakota. Well, Fargo. I like Fargo
buddy.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
I
New
think that
Hampshire
there's
is a
something
good.
about,
That's a good call.
something about the Dakotas is like so like you would think you'd forget about them that I think about them too much as a
That's
result.
exactly what it is for me, Mike.
Wow.
It's
It comes
exact-
back around.
They're like
South
that's
Dakota
they're
has,
such a
like,
poster child
Deadwood.
of nowhere.
South Dakota has Deadwood and Mount Rushmore. So
What
there's
was
a
your
couple
first
things I think
answer,
about there.
Grub?
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas. No,
Yeah,
Arkansas.
what the hell's going on there?
Good.
No,
Utah's
Iowa.
good.
Iowa, never.
Mississippi?
No,
I think about Iowa because the Big
Mississippi-
Ten. I think about the Mississippi because the Mississippi River and MISS, IPPI.
Sure.
Utah is there's two like Salt Lake City's too big. They've had the Olympics there. They've
Right,
like
yeah.
Thinking
like,
about it now with hockey. Like,
Yeah,
What about New
hockey.
Mexico? Like Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, New
That's it.
Mexico,
Breaking
and
Bad,
also they have that
Albuquerque.
awesome hop air balloon festival there that I went to. I'm a huge fan of New Mexico. Now,
yeah,
so.
Wyoming should be up there too. Like no one ever talks about.
Like we
fucking
think about
Wyoming.
Hawaii and
Yeah.
Alaska, right? Just the fact that they're not continental
Sure.
makes
Yeah,
things
they're
weird.
interesting.
And
They're
Hawaii
interesting.
is amazing. Yeah.
The same thing with Rhode Island. It's just so tiny that
So
it's
tiny,
like I'm just thinking
exactly.
about, and now it's got Family Guy. So
Yeah, that's right. It
Really
does
put
have
it on the
Family Guy.
map.
yeah, it did. I'm
All
gonna
right,
stick with
this
Vermont.
is. I think we've maxed out the extent of this game.
Yeah.
All right. These are emails. First one, bombcast@giantbomb.com. If you haven't gotten the message yet, that's where you send an email. This is Jeff from Quebec. If you led the life of your dreams up until the end, what would be the honorific title displayed on your grave? I
Gamer.
got that. Gamer? That really your
No,
life
I'm
stream?
joking. Just go.
I got that idea after hearing about that little orphan who had limited potential, but eventually grew up to be a vigilante named the Dark Echo. I didn't read this before, so I'm smiling in real time here. Then a family man named Mr. Slate, and eventually even a physician with a doctorate in hockey. That's quite the accomplishment. Would it be Senator Riker? Jesus Christ. Cruise Captain Minotti? President Ochoa? What would it be?
Jungle Skipper Minotti.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
it. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, Dan didn't get to do Jungle Cruise with us. That's one thing you missed.
Oh, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
The guy was from where Mike's from, and they became instant best friends.
Oh,
Yeah, our skipper happened to be from Northeast Ohio.
He was
so
like,
I talked to him for a
the
while.
whole
afterwards.
idea of the Jungle Cruise is to be kind of, at least this is what I got, to be sort of like that Dick's Last Resort, to be like a little rude, and then so people were like, he'd be like, "Where are you from? Never heard of it. Where are you from? Never heard of it." And then, "Where are you from?" And Mike gives them the things like, "Oh yeah, you ever been to the hot dog place or whatever right there?" And they started talking about where they were from for like 5 minutes.
That's
So,
great. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brigadier General.
Yeah, I just
General.
sure 4-star Major General. I think for you, Dan, you can get all the way there. Oh yeah, Supreme Court Justice for me. Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Sean, what about you?
Sean?
Fox fuck around now.
Whoa.
Are you already
Wait.
living that dream?
Wait, what does that mean?
Nah, cartoons aren't real, as Dan keeps reminding me.
Is this you? Is that like? Okay, maybe we just.
Crystal from Star Fox.
No.
There's a whole other side of me that Backlar knows nothing about.
I think
No.
it's the side of you that's grasping a pillow very tightly. Okay, it's fine. I don't want to know about it. What you do in your own time is your business.
Don't ask, don't tell is Bacalar's policy.
Whatever it is, I stand by it and support it as long as no one's getting hurt.
Hell yeah.
We got a new feature coming up, Backlar. We'll tell you about it.
Cool, very cool. Use your own.
I need to
credit card.
expense something.
Yeah. That's the story of my life. Hi, Bombcast crew, except for Jeff Bacalar.
Wow.
One day, 6 months ago, I was minding my business listening to Bombcast when I heard Jeff Bacalar mention mechanical keyboards. Okay.
another one you caught.
I know. Oh God, it's I'm an enabler. What can I say? Fast forward to today, and I own 4 different keyboards, 5 different keycap sets, multiple types of switches. I post regularly on the mechanical keyboard subreddit, and have more ideas for future builds. You could have just left well enough alone, Jeff. You had to send me down the rabbit hole. Please let me know where I can invoice my costs, since my partner doesn't understand why I need to own more than one keyboard. All jokes aside, it's a really fun hobby, and I appreciate the Bombcast crew introduces me to so many other things other than just video games. I love you all, including me. This is very nice. P.S. Not sure if Jeff posts his keeps anywhere, but interested to see where I'm working on. Yeah, I mean, I put a couple every time I finish a build. I think I, for the most part, put it on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Okay.
But I don't really do it that much.
I think the reason the keyboard thing mostly skipped me by is because in the early days of mechanical keyboards becoming a thing, there was like one company that was doing it was very expensive. And then I think I got one and I was like, I just wanted to be the IBM M series keyboard.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. And none of them were like that. So it was like, I felt like I was just kind of wasting my time. Is there a keyboard that is like the IBM M series? Jeff Bacalar, I'm asking you.
No, I heard you. I don't know. I'd have to do a little bit of research for you. There's people who like fetishize the vintage keyboard stuff.
I just the clicks on those really were like part of my childhood in school and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so memorable. Yeah.
You could probably your best bet is probably finding that original one and just getting that.
Right. Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. And then
because
use a
all
USB
the new
dongle
ones,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, all the new ones are all machined for the most part, either out of aluminum or they're like injection molded polycarb. So that's the thing. Look, I get it. I have so many keyboards. I enjoy swapping them out. I enjoy rebuilding them. Like in the same way someone likes Legos. Like that's the reason I like building a keyboard, because no 2 keyboards are really the same. They all have different build styles as well. So
some of
like,
them have 2 Fs.
Yeah. There's an escape key on this one, but it's on the right side.
Wow,
it's,
that's
it's
sick.
like like there's just all these different ways to customize and whatnot, and I get it. And look, I built one for Alex Boniello. He didn't shut up about it for like a month.
I totally get that because, like over in the fighting game community, we have like, fight sticks and like leverless here. We like
There you go.
customizing it. I have my little Bridget themed one from Guilty Gear. I like doing stuff like that. So I get where you're coming from on that. It makes sense.
Totally. And it used to a lot of them used to be like soldering only. And that has sort of fallen out of favor recently in the last couple of years, because it's like they make this technology where you could just hot swap them in, and it's just a better way to do it. But yeah, I get it. I'm sorry. I can't pay your invoice though. That is going to have to be a thing you work out your own way. But you could sell your keyboards. People want to buy them.
Sure.
Believe me. They
I
want
have
to
been
buy
meaning
them.
to ask you, what's the state of wireless mechanical keyboards? Is that like pretty common nowadays?
Yeah, that's absolutely a thing. A lot of keyboards now come with the option to have it, the PCB, it's called tri-mode, which is like 3 modes, right? So I think it's Bluetooth, wireless, Bluetooth, wireless, wired, and I don't know what the third one is.
Probably like a specific dedicated dongle for the third
Yeah, it would probably be Bluetooth,
oh, that's what it
2.4
is.
gigahertz wireless.
Yes,
and then, wired.
It's that.
Right,
It's got like a little radio.
that's
for
been
that.
really good for years. Like, right, Sean, we were talking about that a
that
few
shit
months
works
back.
perfectly.
Like my mouse has been wireless for years now, and it's been flawless. So yeah.
Yeah, if I can get a little 2.4 gigahertz dongle.
Yeah. I think if people want to do Bluetooth, the only recommendation I would have is like get an external sort of Bluetooth radio, because
Yes.
a lot of the ones that are on board on the motherboard are just sort of like cramped in there and not in a great reception area.
Unless
So-
it has like, one of those external antennas.
right,
If you have,
exactly.
Like, a PC.
And then
But,
you've
yeah.
done it.
Do you have any
Um,
like specific recommendations for like, just like a relatively low end one of those? Because I was thinking like just a wireless one, maybe like one of the little volume knobs. The emailer here, the Reddit posted link to of their builds actually look really nice. Maybe just
Yeah.
like these would be good.
Yeah, these are dope. This person has a Keychron. I think, Dan, you have a Keychron, right?
Mm-hmm. The second one, I spilled beer on the first one.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think Keychrons are good entry level ones. I would check out 2 sites where I do most of my business, Novel Keys and Canon Keys.
Novel keys.
I get it.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, those are the 2 I recommend. And now they have
nice.
like kits for under $100, so like you can really get going.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe around the $100 mark. Cool.
Yeah, that scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where he's trying to get the hotel room with the bad watch. He's like, and I got a Casio. That's how I feel with my Hyper X. I got a Hyper X.
I mean, look,
keyboard
like
there.
the whole team should be using high-end keyboards.
You haven't
like,
sent me one.
Well, look, I'm happy to do it. Like, let's build you one. I got plenty of
Okay for
kits
now.
ready to go.
Let's go.
You're okay for now, Mike. What the
I
fuck
have a
did you just say?
Logitech.
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I've been rocking
Logitech.
my K120 for the past 2 years since my last thing broke.
Honestly, you sit there so much, Mike. I promise you, I send
do.
you a keyboard and it'll change.
Just as long as it has a
Your
numpad.
life.
Some of these like boutique keyboards don't have numpads.
You don't want
and
to
I'm
take
get you
keyless
numpad?
at TKL?
Yeah, I get you a
Okay.
numpad, no problem. Get you.
Want to hear what
an
want to
1800.
hear what I just bought?
Sure.
Not really.
I bought a WWE Arby's shirt.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Not sure how
That's-
that relates.
Dude,
to
I was going to be
what
mad at you for
we're-
saying something stupid, and you said something so cool
That
instead.
was really cool, Mike. Yeah.
Fucking
They were talking about
awesome.
nerdy
How
keyboard
can I
shit.
afford mechanical keyboards if I'm spending $38 on an Arby's WWE shirt?
I mean, listen, that's 2
$38?
brands. That makes it worth twice
That's
as
with
much.
free shipping, by the way.
Hell yeah.
I got a deal, but I can't be that targeted by merch and not do
Let
something
me
about it.
see. How does it look? Is this the
Yeah.
beef week one?
The beef. It is
It's Beef Week?
The beef week.
It's
I
on
didn't know
WWE
Beef Week was
Shop.
here already.
Happy Beef Week, everybody!
Happy
we
Beef
did
Week,
it.
buddy! Yeah, we did it.
Is this a wrestling roast beef sandwich?
It sure is. It has a belt. I mean, I'm just saying. I got mine. You get yours. We can. Ooh,
How's
we
this
can. What if we both wear them to SummerSlam?
Oh, okay. I missed my employee discount. Yeah.
Jack.
All right, we gotta move on.
Look, we might be in the press box. We need to be professionals, all right?
Spiral
What's more
out of
professional than
control.
Beef Week?
Every week is beef week if you want it to be.
Man, I tell you what, in this house right here, yes, every week is in fact Beef Week.
You beefy son of a bitch. All right. That was Trevor, by the way. Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor.
Next one. Hey, Bombcast. Remember Deep Down, the
Yeah.
Capcom game announced?
I think about Deep Down about once a week, yes.
Oh, really? It
Flintstones
never came
frequency.
out.
Never came out.
Oh, what happened to Pragmata?
Same thing.
Pragmata?
Same thing. So don't,
That was the-
listen, Sean, cover your ears. The same thing that happened to Deep Down.
No.
Are these games that just they
alive.
get lost in like the ether and they're just sort of like
you
Capcom
never
just
talk
does
about
it
it again.
They just say shit. Yeah, like they're
No.
Pragmata was like the space, wasn't it space or something?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
the one that looks
spacey.
like a Kojima
It looks like
game.
a Kojima game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that was just announced a year ago.
No.
Yeah, that's not that
I
long
think it was
ago.
originally announced like
Pragmata?
2 or 3 years ago.
Oh,
It
okay.
was
Well, the
announced
last
before
time
the
we saw
PS5.
it was a year ago.
Did they
there was
show
a
it again?
June
Okay.
2023 trailer.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
that was like the
we just found out about Metroid Prime 4
That's right.
existing in a meaningful
Yeah.
way. Like anything's possible.
Yeah.
Marino
No,
says,
Jim.
remember Agent. I definitely remember Agent. And did they
Yeah.
ever officially cancel
Oh,
that? It had like
yeah.
a cool
No.
logo and everything. Like, I wanted to see Rockstar's take on like a cool like Bond type thing, you know?
It is
They
weird that just
shelved it
didn't.
forever.
It's weird that one just kind of like disappeared.
Yep.
A Rockstar one disappearing. Yeah.
I think the same thing has happened to us, that Star Wars game. Like where PlayStation teamed up with somebody and they're never actually going to release it. So yeah.
Wait, the one with fucking Quantic Dream?
No, the remake of KOTOR.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Jan had to have just picked this email for me because I was
Maybe.
talking about like Pragmata looks so good in that first trailer. Yeah, what was it like? Maybe even 5 years ago at this point or whatever it was. And just the art style I thought looked really cool because I love futuristic sci-fi and everything. And then we got that recent like, hey, it's not dead trailer where they showed what we think is gameplay. And yeah, we haven't heard anything since. I don't know.
Look,
I'd like to believe that they're still working on that.
It'll probably come out. It's probably not going to get deep down.
It just seems like a concept that is like, why would you sell this one of all things? I feel like it could do well right now. Whereas Deep Down was like, we had a lot of fantasy games.
They probably
and
just
some
have
of
like
them were
bigger
doing
fish to
well.
fry. So whenever they have extra resources, it's going into Monster Hunter Wilds, which of course it is. Like, so this game will probably just have to wait its turn.
Yeah, that's all. These are all a game announcement is like the planting of a little seed. Maybe one day it turns into something worth caring about. But for now, all you can do is water it, make sure it's getting enough sunlight, and hope that one day it just sprouts into something important.
And a little bit of dirt.
That's all. It's the best we
You
can
okay,
do here
Dan?
at the
We'll
Bombcast.
rise up.
Finally, Nick in South Carolina. Hey, Bomb folks. Sorry if this joke has been made, but what if you had a Blight Club adjacent series where you played games that you would rate a 7 out of 10 and you called it IT Club?
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
Ike Club.
Ike Club. Yeah,
Okay,
man.
I'm gonna look for Ike Club
It would just
candidates
be
on my
like-
shelf.
No, I was going to say dark.
Audio
my
listeners,
7
he
out of
just
10 is
turned
always...
around to look at all his player's choice games.
Yeah,
Like
all
the-
the yellow
oh, yeah, all the yellow
disgusting
labels.
game
I haven't
Yeah.
played Piano 3 yet, but I feel like that might be an Ike Club. But
Yeah.
I got Geist over here. I think Geist would be pretty good for Ike Club.
Maybe
Yeah.
like the Army Men games. Some of
Sure.
those.
Yeah.
I feel like my ultimate 7 out of 10 is Dark Sector. And
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be an IT game for sure.
Maybe like the
Grabbed by
Suffering.
the Ghoulies. I got grabbed by the
Grab by the
Ghoulies
Ghoulies
here.
might be better than a 7
Like
out of 10.
7.5 maybe.
Does
What
not
have you guys
qualify.
done under the Delight Club banner? Has it
A lot
been
of, like, obscure
Gamera
things.
It's been
and Mr.
Gamera
Mr.
and
Mosquito.
Mr. Mosquito.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's basically kind of what Delight Club is so far, I think.
Mr. Mosquito is better than all
I
right.
think that those are eights. I think that those are
Gamera
eights,
is
Mr.
actually.
Mosquito, I
an
would have
eight.
given a 9 too.
Gamera is at least
Yes.
an 8. Like, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good game.
Okay.
The delight is that it brings joy.
Yeah,
IT
yeah.
is
You know
like
what? Fair.
it just
That's all
brings
right. Yeah.
mediocrity.
There's a space
right?
for versus Delight Club.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe Ike Club is more of like the 6 to 7, and then Delight is like surprising 8 or 9.
Yeah, that you did,
Sure.
especially one that
Sure.
you didn't know about. That you feel like, oh, you need to play this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, like a happy to have it kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah. The Wheelman.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Stuntman for Game Boy Advance.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Oh
high.
yeah.
There you go. Well, we're happy to have you listening to the Giant Bombcast. That does it for emails.
Yeah,
bombcast@giantbomb.com. Yes, Jeff.
Real quick, I think I'm supposed to do this section. I have no idea what this music is. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, that's really loud. Okay, hang on. What did we learn today? We learned Grub's always right with respect to Metroids. Giant Bomb can't get COVID. Dib is better than Dan at Portal. Mary Kish hates indies. I thought she's gonna hate COVID. She hates indie games.
No, she's a big proponent of COVID. Big fan.
Big fan of COVID.
fan.
Yeah, loves COVID.
Let's see here. Grub bemoans ever mentioning Twilight/Wind Waker remasters being a thing now. You bet your ass I do. Bacalar is not responsible for you getting addicted to mechanical keyboards. And of course, there is nothing more professional than Beef Week.
That's right. Words to live by, folks. We're going to be back next week with a brand new show. What else do we have popping off? We're off tomorrow for the holiday.
Well,
I'm going to be off for a couple weeks. If
we're going to do a
off
Blight
means
Club since Dan's
playing
going to be
around.
off for a couple
Oh,
of weeks.
right. That's right.
We'll do Blight Club tomorrow, but don't expect anything else. There will be no Game Mess mornings, but we'll be back Thursday. Bacalar, let's do a voicemail dump truck.
How about a dump truck?
That sounds
Won't
good to
you
me.
join us?
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll have that
Nice
going.
big dump.
Yeah, Mike, you're frozen. We will have a few other things happening this week. We'll come up with something for UPF. We'll probably play some Shadow of the Erd Tree on this website. It's about time.
It's very good.
I am looking forward to that. Maybe we'll start it fresh on the website. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Tell you
So-
what, if you need any summons, I'm not going to be on content while I'm recovering, but I will be playing that game.
That
so
might-
if you want me to
that-
just
Dan, that might
hop
be fun.
in,
That could
I
be
could
good.
just join and help you with
I'd
the boss.
love
or
some
silently
something.
sort
playing.
of like daily vlog update if you're up for it, like just to see. Maybe you might look a little weird. And maybe
I'm just going to be
upsetting.
sitting on a couch with my blood-filling gauze under my nose. For
like I said, maybe once a day you file a video.
It sounds great. Yeah, actually, they said physically it shouldn't look that crazy. It's all in my. It's just a pumpkin just scooping out the inside.
Sure.
It's like a jack-o'-lantern. That's what's happening.
The coolest thing is that you're live streaming the procedure. So head on over to twitch.tv/Dan for the procedure. And we'll be back. Thank you, Dan. We'll see you in a little bit. Be well. Thank you, Mike Minotti.
Thank you for having me. Happy Beef Week, everybody.
Yes, to you and yours. Thank you, Turbo Sean.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jeff Grubb.
Thank you, Dan. Bounce back quick.
Thank you. I hope to, and I'll be playing games until then.
Thank you, Jan Ochoa. Thank you, Jeff Bakalar. We will be back next week with a brand new show. Bye-bye.